literally as it went off. Okay.
Yeah. See, for someone to be good, somebody else has to become bad. No!
Yeah, Tate. Yeah, Tate. Someone to be good.
Go right. And then left. We gotta go all the way back.
Oh,
You.
Nobody
Okay.
corrected me? Here he is!
The boss went away!
welcome everybody to MogTalk, episode 186. It is October 2019. Oh my god, I'm just gonna go with it. This one's fine.
I'm so glad that timed properly.
Yeah.
I was so hoping that it would.
The worst, absolutely worst. And for people watching this on YouTube, we just restarted this 10 times trying to do the intro. But if you guys haven't watched MogTalk before, it is a show based around the Final Fantasy XIV community discussing everything from Savage Raiding to Chocobo Racing. Before we get too much into the show today, I do want you guys to be familiar with who is on the show. So let me go ahead and do an introduction order here. And I think, I can't remember how I have it, but I'm going to start with Tate. Tate, can you tell everybody who you are?
I'm Tate.
Come on, dude.
Hi, Tate.
Come on. Give us some info.
I've been sober for 8 years now, so thank you for having me on. What's up? I'm Tate, GoldenTot on Twitch. I stream. I do YouTube videos sometimes. Some people would say I do YouTube videos. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. All that. I shit post. That's it. I just scream a lot and shit post. That's it.
Okay. That works. Oh, that's good. All right. Drak, same thing.
Hi, I'm Drak. I kickstarted Tate's shoutcasting career in Final Fantasy XIV. I was also with him at FanFest, so I know that sober thing is a complete lie. Now I do Final Fantasy XIV raid videos with our group, and just stream every now and then. I've been focusing more on the videos because we caught up, and it's like a lot of footage. It's a lot of stuff to go through. So anyway, yeah.
There you go. All right, and Larry.
Hello, I'm Larry. I'm a professional meme maker on Larryzaur on internets. That's what I do.
Nice.
And where can you find these internets?
Yeah, where's the internet's at?
You go to Google and then you type in internets.
All right. So if you guys haven't guessed yet, we are doing a stand-up comedy bit here for Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, no.
And so each one of these guys is going to stand up for 30 minutes and just say stuff that's really funny.
Where did he go?
We already lost Drak. He's gone. He's done. All right. For real though, guys, we are doing. I get it. We're already starting off really great. Wait, no, Tate's standing down.
I was gonna do that too, but then I was like, nah.
Oh, jeez. Well, we're gonna
Tate just got a standing desk too, right?
Oh shit, that is a standing desk, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just gonna do that too, but I saw Drax stood up. I'm like, I'm not gonna stand up too.
Oh my god! Everybody who's not watching this live is probably not going to understand half the things that are going on right now.
You mean audio only?
Yeah, the audio.
Yeah,
only.
that's okay.
But guys, to bring it back in, we're gonna do a discussion on the live letter. We've all at least absorbed the information from the recent live letter, which was just a day ago. And it's going to be pretty amazing because it's pretty much, I guess a lot of people are maybe a little bit burnt out on what we have for content and want a little bit more. And this is a lot of content to take in.
Yes.
The one thing that, of course, they started off the live stream with a video, which they always do. They do a video for every single patch and everything else. What'd you guys think about the video? Did it get you pretty hyped up seeing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was only able to get in like at the last part of it, so I watched it later, and I just watched my wife's reaction. That was the most fun.
Was it because
she just looks at me like, "What?"
was it because of Nier? Is that really it?
No, she saw the Alexander stuff, and then she was just like, "No way, they're really."
Of course.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
The
baited,
trailer-
man. I got so
The trailer
baited.
was so good because it baited everybody in the middle of it. Because
Yeah.
everybody saw just Thornton alone, so everybody on Twitter was going, "Thornton Ultimate, Thornton!"
I was like bouncing out of my chair screaming.
Yeah,
And then somebody was like, I saw Blue Mage. And I was like, no,
fuck.
no.
Yep.
It was a bunch of blue mages. Yeah,
I mean, you could kind of tell now. I would assume, since they showed Thornton and it is a Blue Mage piece of content, it's probably not coming to Ultimate ever.
I hope we get Heavenly Heal.
Done.
no, it could be Ultimate.
It's gone.
Yeah,
They're
no,
reusing it somewhere else.
You're
No,
absolutely
it's not
right.
being reused. It's the exact same content.
Is it the same content?
Yes, you're just
Should
gonna queue into Thornton EX.
Okay. Oh, because
I
they
think
level them up. Okay. All right.
Yeah, wasn't it? Well, yeah, because the level cap's being increased, so I thought it was like,
Yeah, they're just gonna
Heaven's
go
Word
right in.
content now. You can learn. Heaven.
Oh, I thought it was special Thornton Blue Mage
I don't
content.
think so.
Nope.
It might be, but
Okay.
Nope, they could just go right
who
in.
knows?
But for the trailer, for me, like at least right in the 0.01 seconds when they started the
Mhm.
Nier music and the whole Nier theme of like the Square Enix and the whole Nier computerized
Mhm.
After he
aesthetic.
changed his pants.
The entire time after that, I was just a giddy little kid just on Christmas.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
So-
me too. And then you saw the gold
Freaking
sword,
amazing.
and you saw a little bit of tidbit of 9S, and I was just like,
Yes.
it him.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It our boy.
So I've never played Nier at all. I just see it from the sideline constantly.
Mhm.
To me, it's always been a game that looked like it was for fan service for people who want to look up skirts. But
No, dude.
no,
No, you're underselling yourself, bro.
underselling myself.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
you're ruining it for yourself.
All right. So it's not that, and so
It's not that.
I will say, hearing the music, and it was really the music, to be honest with you. Hearing that music as someone who's never played Nier, I actually kind of got a little bit interested to play Nier. Like this entire time, I knew this Alliance raid was coming, but I was like,
Yeah.
I could probably skip it and be okay. It wouldn't be a big deal. But then something about that aesthetic was like, I might actually enjoy this game. This might be something that I want to get into.
Yeah.
It's like if you're interested in like post-apocalyptic scenarios and stuff like
Mhm.
that, you'll probably like it a lot.
Yeah, I like the world ending. You know, it's good.
Okay.
Especially today.
We're
No,
living it, baby. Millennials, let's go.
yeah,
So Frosty, I want to get like at least like a little
sure.
just input from you is when you go to play a single player video game, what do you care about the most?
The story, absolutely.
Then you'll love Nier.
And how they
Mhm.
so how the story and how they pull me in. I don't want to just read, like when I say story, I don't want them to put like words in front of me and I just read it
Yeah.
and that's
You wanna
all
be
it is.
immersed.
I want to be immersed into it. I want to feel like this is part of it and I actually care about what's going on. And
You
The
it's
will
story
love
of Nier, the story of Nier just happens. It just happens.
okay.
It doesn't show it to you immediately, but then you get like 15 hours in and you're just like, wait, this is crazy.
Okay.
It's good. It's really good. I
Yeah.
didn't like it at first. I thought it was really boring and I was just like, what the hell's going on? And then it snapped and everything clicked.
That could be an issue for me because I sometimes have problems like getting in this when people say, "Oh, for example, like if you're watching like a really
It
nice
doesn't start out bad. I'll say that. Like the combat and the gameplay are still really fun.
okay,
The story is interesting. The world is interesting. But the story, like, it's fine. It's good. You'll be interested, but then it just kicks the fuck off.
it just gets really crazy and
I
great.
think it grabbed me in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Because
Yeah.
it's one of those things like I have an issue if someone tells me like there's 9 seasons of this show but doesn't get good until season 6. I'm just
Mhm.
not going to watch it. I don't want to watch
Same.
6 seasons of like bad content to enjoy 3 seasons of it. And so if that's not the case,
I
then I'll-
agree. Yeah.
you know.
No, I would say no. I would say in most cases, no, it could grab you right away. At least for me, what happened was Eva showed it to me and I played like the very first mission.
Mhm.
And as soon as I like you start off in the air, and as soon as I landed on the ground, I was like, I want to go play Nier 1 first. So I went and played Nier 1 first, and then I played Automata. If you're doing it right now, unless you have the time, I wouldn't play Nier 1 first. I would just play Automata.
Okay. You think I'd be good going into whatever they're going to present to us? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I could go back if I'm like, I really enjoyed it.
Yes. If you really enjoyed it, then yes, go play Nier 1. There's Nier 1. Did you play that yet, Tate?
Nope. I was gonna try to play through Drakengard, and I got real bored and stopped
You
playing.
don't need to play Drakengard.
Okay.
You don't need that.
Drakengard 3 looks really cool though.
It does. But if you just care about Automata, then just play Nier 1. You're good.
I might do that.
Everything.
I feel like since we're already on topic, we should probably talk about the Nier Alliance raid a little bit from what we've seen. Without spoilers, as best as possible, unless you guys want to ruin my experience going into Nier. And
I would never.
So I know the characters.
I don't think the 24-man is going to spoil too much, to be honest. I think it's going to be kind of its own sort of standalone deal. Like there will be references and nods, but I doubt it's going to just straight up tell you what happened in their universe and stuff like that. I hope that's the case at least.
It should be. That would suck if it wasn't the case.
That's what I would hope. What I would hope is it's the situation where it won't spoil anything that happens in Automata, but it will super build on it. Give you more mind blow stuff, which is what Yoko Taro is really good at. So
if they go the same route as what they did with the Ivalice one, just a very generic, vague background, and then kind of going into it. Like I'm playing through it on my. They released it on mobile, so I've been playing through Tactics, and I didn't know. Like nothing was really spoiled except for maybe some character names. I'm like, oh, there they are, but that was about it. So if they do the same thing, it should be all right.
Okay.
It depends on how much story they put into it and how much they build it into the world, because it's a 24-man, right? Like the 24-mans are never super deep until you get to Shadowbringers, and suddenly the first 24-man is really deep.
Yeah.
The fact that 9S is in there actually kind of proves the fact that it's going to be maybe not necessarily canon. I mean, I hope it is, but it might not be the same 9S,
right? Like there's obviously they're mass produced or whatever.
Well, the thing is when they're mass produced, they have all different hair colors and stuff. They all look different. So like that's why the 2P that we have looks different than 2B. So I think the fact that the 9S that we saw in the trailer looks exactly like the 9S that we know, that it is that 9S is what I would assume.
It could be.
And if is
Yoko Taro assisting on the story writing and stuff, it's obviously going to be wild. He's going to try to put it in the lore, I'm sure.
Right. So that would mean like Yoko Taro is the madman that he is, and hiding, extra story for his games behind 100 hours of MMO gameplay.
He would do it too.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Yoko Taro.
Well, at least I got that on other people who enjoyed the game, right? If they haven't played Final Fantasy 14, I'm kind of ahead already. Right?
Yes.
For the amount of time
you're ready.
Yeah. All right.
Because I'm sure there's tons of Nier fans Nier fans are diehard Nier fans. So all those people that are diehard Nier fans are going to actually play our game in order to experience that themselves.
I mean, they could technically just watch gameplay of it.
Nope. If they're diehard, they're going to do it themselves.
Okay.
But
if they're diehard, they've played Drakengard 1, and that shit sucks.
Yeah, so they could go through our game.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that stood out absolutely is the voice they had for, was it 9S when they were trying during the video? It sounded kind of like broken, or it sounded kind of like awkward. What? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Did you guys?
What voice?
During when he was in the 24-man instance, and you heard like the radio voice. I think that was 2B's voice.
Was it?
I don't know. It was just
the only voice I heard was like an Japanese operator kind of voice.
Was it operator?
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually their voice.
Operator, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was an operator.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't play Nier in Japanese, so I don't know anyone's voice.
Well, it was in English. It was English voice acted. So
really,
the operator voice sounded like I couldn't even understand it when I watched it.
I didn't watch the English trailer. I watched I watched it live, so it was Japanese.
Yeah, like when you're talking about when the trailer first starts, right? And they're showing
no, like actually beginning. Like in the middle of the trailer, there was they were showing off, kind of going through the 24-man, and there was a voice that played during that part that I thought was one of the characters' voices that they had.
I didn't hear.
I'm looking it up right now.
Look it up right now. Look it up.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I played Automata in Japanese, but I also know the English voices. And when I watched the English trailer, I didn't hear any Nier characters in it.
Okay, so this would be a new character voice, probably, if it was that.
I mean, okay, so Engels is on the screen, and there's like a broken up. That's just an operator voice, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah,
it's like the very beginning of the trailer, right?
No,
are you talking?
It's in the middle of the trailer.
Yeah, are you talking about in the middle? What do they say? Are they talking about the thing where?
What they said. You know what? Stream.
I got
everybody
it
here. We're gonna 5.1. Final Fantasy 14 trailer.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the line where it's saying, since you're an expert on these matters, did you notice the peculiar nature of their swords?
I don't think so. Hold on.
Okay, because I didn't know who that was.
I found it. It's at 159. If you go to 159. I'm going to the...
I gotta listen.
What time is it?
159.
Instead of saving your friends, you risk damning them.
Instead of saving your friends, you risk damning them.
Oh, an old lady?
Yeah.
I don't know who.
No, that's some old lady, dude.
Try to sing Lady Chai.
No,
that's MSQ.
It's when. All right, so when you go back,
that's MSQ.
But it's not matching lip syncing. It's not matching the lip syncing at all, though.
That's too abnormal.
No.
I think it's just too completely.
Dude, that's some old lady.
Yeah,
okay. That's not Nier.
Okay,
that's not Nier.
Okay. I thought it was Nier.
You think 2B talks like that?
I think that's just not great editing, is what that is. I think that's just a weird design choice as far as the trailer goes.
Okay.
But there is that one line that I said, which I didn't know who was talking because I don't play the game in English, is because I'm a weeb. There's one line towards the middle. I think it's after that, and it's saying, "Since you're an expert on these matters, did you notice the peculiar nature of their swords?"
I thought that was
also, the 24-man like cutscenes and stuff usually don't get a whole lot of voice acting.
Right, but who was that?
What are you talking about? There was voice acting in the fights in the last one.
In the fights? Not during like cutscenes or dialogue.
I'm hoping there will be.
I guess not. Yeah.
I think all the dialogue in the trailer was MSQ.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
All right. If you're gonna, because I honestly thought they changed it. Made
that's Grahatia, and he says souls, not swords.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he said swords too. I don't know. Maybe the editing with the trailer just wasn't as good as I thought, or it's just meant to be confusing.
Yeah, it's meant to be kind of, but okay. Yeah, I don't know the English voices, so I didn't know who that was speaking. But if it's Grahatia, then yeah, he's talking about souls.
Drac looks like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Got nothing.
Well, the problem is when talking about all this Nier shit is it can get pretty convoluted pretty quickly. So
yeah, it gets mixed up in weird spots, and it's just yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nier itself in the Alliance raid, it looks like it could be kind of interesting from what I've seen, but I mean, of course, there's only clips. I'm about as excited as I was for almost any other 24-man that I see. I mean, there's not too much they can show me that I'm like, wow, this is super groundbreaking with this 24-man.
Then I have another question for you. Would be, because you said just hearing the music made you want to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play 12/Tactics before?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, I was going to ask, did that music one you want to make?
I'm gonna be honest, it kind of blended in with all the other Final Fantasy music to me.
Yeah, because that didn't make me want to play the game.
It wasn't.
I think
I actually was less excited, and I don't know if it was just me personally, but like going back and then they did this kind of story that's like a theater kind of thing that wasn't really in the story, but it was like going over the story. Then it's like in the story. It wasn't as exciting as maybe I was hoping it to be. But
I didn't play 12/Tactics, and just from the gist that I got, that 24-man whole story thing was like kind of mediocre in my opinion. So I'm very hopeful for this one to be very good.
Okay. If it's not, then you can blame Yoko. It's all his fault.
I can't blame Yoko Taro for anything.
Absolutely.
Except making me cry.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna cry if it's bad, right? So.
Yeah.
True. But okay, so know a little bit about that. The thing that I think a lot of people were really excited for with the trailer, and even though it was only a tad bit, there's only a little touch in there, was the ultimate announcement. You saw it right at the end, right? And so everybody's like, holy fuck. Did any of you guys not expect it to be Alexander? Did you think it was going to be something else?
I knew it was going to be Alexander because, well, a while back during a live letter, they showed like the bubbles over the letters, right? Like they censored it. And the only word that could have possibly fit there was Alexander.
Because it was really long. You mean?
But also, I really, really wanted Thornton. I love Thornton so much.
Me
So that
too.
would have been sick.
Me
I
too.
had the hope, and then they showed Thornton and baited me so hard. And I got so sad.
Yeah.
I still have hope that we'll get it for the next one. But
That
Or
was
Thornton in it.
with
yeah,
Thornton in
because it could be
Yeah.
like Warring Triad plus Thornton or something like that.
Just throw Thornton in, please. Warren Triad. Thornton's part of that.
Well, it's like, isn't that like kind of part of the story or whatever?
It was the
Yeah.
introductory. He opened up the way to get there. So yeah, they could shoot
I
one
guess
at it.
so. I guess so. And I know it was a completely unintentional bait because they were probably just like, oh, everyone remembers Thornton. And then Blue Mages, yeah, they're going to see Blue Mages in Heavensward content. Oh, level 60 Blue Mage. That makes perfect sense. It wasn't.
No, they baited. They
I
did
don't
on
think it was a
purpose.
bait.
I
Maybe.
think they did it on purpose.
I don't think they meant it to be as a bait, but it totally was. I don't
There's
think
a
they
piece
meant
of
it.
sadist, so I think so. I think he would have done it on purpose.
Maybe.
They did talk about it a little bit, I think, afterwards. But
They did. Yeah.
Maybe. Like, I think they watched it, and then they're like, that's kind of a bait. And they realized it, and they're like, we're going to play it and then mention it afterwards. Like, they didn't
Okay.
intentionally put it in there. That's my little fan theory about creating trailer videos.
I didn't necessarily think it was absolutely guaranteed going to be Alexander, but Alexander was absolutely guaranteed to at some point be an ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
So,
no,
it
absolutely.
was just when.
Tate, I know I keep seeing you do this every once in a while. I'm like, he'll get it one of these days. It's gonna happen, guys. He's gonna
It's not
focus.
working,
Are you trying to
man.
focus it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring it on back.
There we go. But no, I had a 90% assumption, I guess, that it was going to be Alexander, and that would make everybody happy. So,
But did you 90% assume that it would be anything other than the last three bosses? Because I didn't.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with the bosses they chose.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a chance that they were going to leave out Manipulator. I didn't think they were going to replace them with Cruise Chaser.
Dude, it's because Manipulator sucks so much that it's just like let's make Cruise Chaser, which is obviously the better fight, replace Manipulator.
Drac,
Manipulator sucked.
I'm not excited for Pepsi Man.
How much experience do you have with Alexander again, Drac?
We did the first two floors of the first two tiers, and then we went through the final one on content. But we didn't do a 3, 4, or 7, 8. We never did that on content.
That's
What
a
did you
lot of
guys
good
do?
content you missed.
I know. Yeah, it was a shame.
Good?
Except for
We
4.
had-
Except for 4.
Yeah. What
We
did you
had
guys
a-
do though?
You talking to me?
Yeah, like with Tate and Frosty too. Like, what did you guys do for Gordius?
Oh, so Gordius. So that's when I tried Machinist out. And I was playing that, and I was going through, and I cleared turn 3 with a static that was not my static. And I felt horrible about that. But we later went and cleared it. We didn't ever clear 4 officially, like during the tier. We had to go back and kill it later. And then with Midas, my team got all the way to 7. Then I switched servers to Gilgamesh because we didn't have cross-server Party Finder, and Party Finder sucked on Exodus. So then we made some progress on, I guess 8 a little. We touched it, but we were pretty much done. Same thing with the tier before that. We cleared the 3rd one, and we're like, we're okay. But then on the last one, we actually fully went through and cleared it, and that's the meme of Frosty playing Paladin on A12S. So
Because Paladin was bad in Heavensward, if people didn't know.
that's what I've
Frosty stuck
heard.
with it.
Enough than
Yeah.
more than anyone else, I'm sure. Tate, what kind of
did you
experience do you
do?
have for it?
I got to Living Liquid. I got to A3.
Mhm.
We went in for one night, and this was back when it was like my first raid group that I'd been with since like Second Coil. And it was just me and my friends. We were just playing the game and having a good time. And we got in and we did one night of it, and my entire friend group decided, I don't want to do this. And they just stopped raiding. We just didn't raid after that.
What, Pepsi Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it for one night, and my whole group was just like, I don't want to raid anymore. And I got
Pepsi
really
Man was
sad
so
because I wanted to
OG.
do it. But I ended up taking a break and quitting the game for like 5 or 6 months after that. And then I came back near the end of Midas, and I cleared Midas right before patch to release Creator. Literally, like, the pull before the servers went down, we cleared, and I've got a video on that. A bunch of nerd screams, and it was really, really cool. So Midas is like one of my favorite tiers. It's really sentimental just for that reason alone. And then I did Creator on content as well. So the only thing I didn't clear was 3 or 4 on content.
Okay.
Dude, Pepsi Man, that's what you just described as the quintessential Pepsi Man experience.
I was sad. I think that, like, I think the fact that was the reputation of the fight made my friends just not even want to try it. So it really killed it just immediately for us, and that made me really sad.
Yeah, because it was like one of the pinnacles of good fight creation to a lot of people, because they thought this was how fight should be designed.
For it were insane.
Yeah,
like you had to be really tight with your mechanics on that. And I mean, like, nothing against my friend group that I raided with back then, but everyone was running on like shitty computers, bad internet, and we were all also just terrible players.
And that was before the EU server move as well. So everyone in EU was doing that with horrible ping.
Yeah, it was really hard. Like, basically, like when the hands split or whatever, and you had to like bring them together or bring them apart or whatever the mechanic was, just 5 times out of fucking 6, it just wouldn't work because we're just shit and slow at it.
Gordius,
but I wish I did it though. I really do. I regret not doing it.
It was really good. Gordius was the last tier that I hardcore progged. Hardcore just means I spent most of my time raiding. That was the last tier in the game that I hardcore progged, and it was the same group that I went through Second Coil Savage with. So we were all a pretty good, solid group of players. So we were able to get through it. But I would definitely say Pepsi Man is a very memorable fight in the game of being just, he was very highly tuned, but it was such a well-tuned fight that everybody in the group was very highly responsible versus like some other fights today and just in general is only maybe a couple of people are very responsible for certain mechanics and other people can kind of coast by. Pepsi Man was very difficult for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really cool that they're putting that in as the door boss.
And and a lot of people are going to go back and they're going to experience these fights that didn't really hardcore raid as much back then and see a difficult version of it yet again. And so he mentioned that he hopes, that they did throw everything in it and that he hopes people are actually ready for it. So he's throwing his words down, his gauntlet of like, hey, this is going to be a challenging fight. So if it's not a challenging fight, people might not leave him as much in the future. So we'll see. I don't know. I hope there's Nisi. Absolutely.
There will. There has to be Nisi.
They like specifically said they're adding everything.
Yeah.
And I really want to know what everything means because
I was going to say that. What does everything mean?
Faust, maybe?
Yes, there has to be. There has to be a Faust.
Yeah.
Like just an ad. Yeah.
And then go ahead.
Nisi, they would be real Nisi, though, not the sacrifice Nisi.
Absolutely. They have to kill the buggy part.
I've never done it correctly. It's always been
so few people have. Like, honestly, so few people really have.
Even the sack strap
I don't even know how it works. I literally don't know how Nisi works.
Nisi was like, there were the 5 pentagons, and you would need to, the way that it would have worked is before the pentagons even spawned, 2 people would get Nisi, and you would have to be passing them around kind of like rot. But it's not just rot. It's not just a buff that when it runs out, you die. It's a buff. It's a debuff that it's like a dot and it ticks and it hurts you by a lot every single tick every 3 seconds. Right. So you're needing to pass that around and keep it up. And so the last people that end up with it, those are the people that run into the pentacles and they explode the pentacles and they can survive.
Drak, how do you think? Drac, how do you think?
Isn't it called? I think it's pentacles.
It's something like that. It sounds.
I think they're called pentacles.
That's just a funny word. It sounds like you made it up.
It is, but I think it's called pentacles, dude. I don't know, but then the sack strat was so convoluted. Also, it was just like this whole mechanic is so stupid. We can just sacrifice ourselves. So you would have 3 people sack themselves by timing server ticks.
Yep.
In order
exactly how I
to
did
get
it.
all of them at the same time, and then you would have the Dark Knight Living Dead, the tank busters, and you would time healing the living dead by the healer LB3 to raise everybody, and which would also subsequently clear the Walking Dead off the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
It was so
complicated.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely ridiculous. Nothing today even has that kind of like.
Drac, do you think
More
Ness
thought.
is going to be able to knock that out?
Next month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next month. I would like to try it because we do have the opportunity now, since we have the raid tier down early, which is pretty nice. I don't know how far we'll actually get, but I think we can at least get a little bit in there.
It'd be a funny video just to go through a little bit of it.
Yeah. But
See how
people,
far you get.
I don't know. I know Tate's going to be going through it with another group. I don't know about Jesse or Choco or even Sophie, but even just having one person, like, I feel bad making anybody reprog that. Like from a hardcore group to just like, oh, we're going to go in for a day.
It doesn't bother me at all. I don't think it bothers anybody else.
Yeah, Tate
All
like reprogs all the time, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he doesn't care. I mean, most people are probably like that. Like right now, I want to go back and do more Savage. Like after this, I want to like end the stream and go do more Savage and prog with prog groups and not have to worry about being super badass, number 1. Just go out there and see where I can get with more prog groups. But
Help people. It's fun.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
I always
It's just
my friends clear. It's always
It's just always got really during the ultimate progs, it was like after that everybody be like, I fucking hate everything like right now. It's just the amount of burnout.
that's just the side effect of ultimate,
Yeah.
man.
mhm.
But honestly, I don't know. It depends on when they unlock this current tier for us to get our gear,
Yeah.
and then how much everybody's motivation is to actually like try something else, because we haven't had the opportunity to try
Mhm.
something else up until this point. We've always been pretty easygoing with our prog and the normal raid fights or the normal savage fights. So the fact that we got through everything as quickly as we did is pretty good right now.
I will say that there is a lot of stuff to look forward to from those tiers. I mean, we got Cruise Chaser flying up in the air. You got those towers. You got up and down mechanics with the robots. You have to add 4 robots that you could deal with. They could come in and do various things. And then you have dancing, ice skating.
I love those animations. I can't wait.
Yeah.
There's so much. And there are gobwalkers, too. Right? Gobwalkers could come back into Ultimate.
They could.
They could.
I mean,
I enjoyed that part of it too.
Thank you.
But
I liked
everybody
that.
everybody in our group at the time was brand new to the game. So everybody that, except for me, Jesse, Seabass, we were the only ones who had played the game. Corey joined before Heavensward, but like right before Heavensward.
Mhm.
So he was 50. Right as like he was just getting 50 right as Heavensward in. So nobody like really knew optimization or how to do stuff. I think the Dead Machinist did more damage than our Dragoon at the time. So I put that in the video. So it was one of those things that I wish we were better prepared for.
I forgot about the cat heart. Chat just reminded me about A7, the cat heart. You had to manage that.
Mhm.
And then there's also, of course, sorry, I'm
There's
just looking
so
at the
much.
gorilla and like the A5 with all the different potions and like going back and forth.
No.
That was fun.
It was.
I
I
liked-
really
I
liked
liked
that
that.
fight. I didn't like the cat heart and the boulders. I didn't care for that fight.
Oh my god.
I didn't really do
Stuff like
Midas.
that.
That's the only tier I didn't really do.
I love Midas. It's my favorite tier, but I do not care for that fight very much.
I really liked Cruise Chaser.
Cruise Chaser was a lot of fun.
I like that one too. Again, I was playing super suboptimal in my suboptimal group, and we survived really long in that fight, and we were respecting that content pretty good. That we saw more of the fight than almost anyone else because we were able to stay alive. Our DPS sucks so bad, but we were able to do the
Respect.
mechanics well enough to stay alive to kill it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, those are good memories. And this is the thing. It's good memories for a lot of people because Alex was like a whole shift in the rating scene for people who were around her in Heaven's Word, and it was intense to go through that whole experience of what was going on, because they raised the bar really high and kind of lowered it down slowly, and they went into where they kind of creator kind of where they want to be.
Yeah.
And so we're coming back just kind of like Coil was, where everybody's like, oh man, that was really good memories. We're seeing that again with Alexander. I have to think, if they do this next expansion and they did it for Omega, would we care at all?
I don't think I would care that much.
I mean,
it depends.
I want
years from
Kefka.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kefka's the one that really, like, Kefka, Midgard, Zormer, the big names in that one. I think there was some hype around certain fights, but as a tier, each tier, I don't think they really had a whole bunch. Omega was a throwback raid, so I think that there could be. I really, really, really enjoyed second fight, Kefka, God Kefka. That was a really fun fight. It was really engaging, and tanks were doing a lot. I had a lot of fun taking that one.
I don't know. I mean, there are fights in there that I was kind of interested, but I mean, I kind of sat out a little bit for a lot of the rating last expansion. I did it, but it was never like something I was looking forward to or I was excited for, because I was pretty trapped in PvP at that point. But
I think if they ever did like an ultimate for Omega, they can't include any of the throwback bosses. It would just have to be 11, the twins, and then Omega Prime.
Yeah.
And
because there's so many
cool that would be really interesting.
So many fights that are just Omega.
But like, he could have the older bosses like warp in and have you do their mechanics while you're fighting them or something like that. But like, if you just fought like X Death and then Kefka, like who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah, like I really think like let's say 2 years from now that they, in the next expansion, they make an ultimate Omega. I don't think I would be as hype as I am for what Ukab was or what
they could do is
Alexander was.
What would hype me up is if they did Warring Triad into Kefka for like Final Fantasy VI fanboys like me, where you just fight the Warring Triad and then God Kefka is the final boss, and I would lose my mind for that.
Yeah, really. Yeah, the Warring Triad was great.
Yeah, I would want more than the Warring Triad, to be honest with you. I'd like to see Bismarck come into play somehow. But it would be, I would love to see them try to make that part of it. I know a lot of people to give it shit, but it's pretty epic.
What's interesting to me is like the difference between Alexander and Ukab. Like I feel like more people did Alexander than people who did Coil, right? And the reason why I wanted to do Ukab so much was solely because I wanted to kind of relive those moments of progging through Coil, because I loved Coil so much. So I feel like today there's so many people that did Alexander back in the day and who started the game in Heaven's Word, and that's when they really got into raiding, that they're gonna want to do Ultimate Alexander because they want to relive those days of progging Alexander. And I really don't know if that's going to have the same impact as if we were next expansion to have Omega, the same kind of people who want to relive those days of progging Omega.
I think there will be interest for it just from the people who may have started in Stormblood. Maybe that's their first raiding experience.
Yeah,
but it won't be as impactful from like the entire community. It'll be more of a niche thing. And I mean, everybody's still going to do it because it's an ultimate fight, but
yeah,
it's not going to be as hype as the other ones have been so far.
And by the way,
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Larry, your mic for some reason seems a little low. I just want to give you a heads up. I don't know. It went down a little bit, but in comparison to like everybody else, but it's fine. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
I could talk into it like this.
Yeah, no, that would be perfect if you keep doing that.
Just keep talking into it like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, really?
I don't really care.
Oh, okay.
Tate, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I don't think there was all that much hype for Ultima either. No one gave a shit about Ultima weapon, right?
I
mean,
I was pretty hype.
I mean, like, but the thing is, like, I was hype after I saw the announcement and after I thought about what they could do to make the fight cool, right? But like beforehand, I wasn't sitting here hoping, oh man, I hope it's Ultima weapon. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. That's true.
So, I mean, obviously, if they make an ultimate out of something we don't really care about, it's still going to be cool as shit. Like, we're still going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right.
long as they do a good job. I mean, that's it, right? They just have to keep
Yeah,
on this.
yeah, exactly.
They have to keep at the bar at least.
They're 2 for 2 so far. It's been good.
Yeah. And this is, I can't imagine them messing this up. They could, but I really can't imagine them messing up this one.
I wonder how long it's going to take to clear.
I think UWU length.
I would say
UWU.
so. I would say UWU.
I would say UWU length.
I hope so. I hope it's UWU length because I don't want to be in there for over 2 weeks, man.
Yeah. Like literally like when it gets to ultimate difficulty, adding even a minute longer increases your prog by like days.
Oh yeah.
So,
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
would say UWU.
Way longer than UWU just for that reason alone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's just because it demands longer times of perfect execution.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I think they found the time range they want to go for with UWU, and they'll probably keep to it.
I like that. Yeah,
Even though he was challenging everybody, he was like, "I hope
Um,
you guys are prepared for World First. If you're doing it, make sure you're ready." And
wait, they said it would be UCOB-ish length?
I remember people talking about they wanted to say they were aiming to make the design more like UCOB. I don't know if it's going to be length or difficulty because
I think the sweet
I
spot.
want the pace to be more like UCOB is the thing.
Yeah.
I want the pacing to be more. I don't know about the length of it. Like I don't want an 18-minute ultimate fight. 15 is fine, but the thing about UCOB is it picked up real quick. You got like Twin
right away.
Tania was like kind of whatever. You know, you got through it. It was kind of just brain dead. But
The
then Nail just picks up immediately.
Yeah.
But the thing about UWU is it felt like it didn't pick up. It kind of picked up in Titan, and then it picked up when Ultima came around.
Mm-hmm.
So the
That's what
pacing
I would
felt
say.
a lot worse.
I would say the sweet spot would be the difficulty of UCOB, but the length of UWU
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
would be really good.
yeah, maybe plus 1 minute. Maybe plus 1 minute. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it. Maybe.
I mean,
plus
I'm
1 minute.
fine with a longer fight. Don't get me wrong.
How
I'm
long
just
is
thinking about
UWU?
total prog
13?
time.
No, 11?
It was
Oh.
a lot longer than that.
I didn't do UWU. How long is it? It's like you could beat it in like 11, I'm sure.
Was it 11? I don't
Yeah,
think
you
it was
could beat
11.
UCOB in like
If you're
Gotta say
speed running it,
16?
maybe.
Yeah, 16 till the
how long is UCOB then? I thought UCOB was like 15.
No,
You got
UCOB is like
18
18,
minutes.
19. It did. Ooh, it's like 16. Chat saying 16 here. Yeah, it's 16 is what you're.
Okay, I think a 16-minute fight with UCOB difficulty is perfect
Okay.
then.
I'm
We'll
thinking
see.
17-minute fight.
And just
17,
anywhere around there. I don't care. I just want to play.
I'm just trying to give Larry shit.
whatever, man.
I think it should be 2 minutes, and we should be shot with guns the whole time.
Well, I'd like that too.
Shot
Whoa.
with guns. Oh, okay.
Give us
It's good.
a
Millennial
give us a
here.
Nier-
Watch
Yeah, that's
out.
what I was about to say.
Wait, what?
Millennial
kinda
coming
lost
through.
now. I'd like a near fight where I'm getting shot by lasers the whole time for 2 minutes.
You have to dodge like in that Alliance raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
up to be steps on you.
While she steps
Oh.
on me. No,
Oh.
A2. I'm a bigger fan of A2, but you don't
Gotcha.
know who. You don't know her.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know any of them. It's okay. I'll learn them. You know, I might
Cultured
do
people
it.
like A2 better.
I might try to do Automata in the next couple of weeks. We'll see.
You can
Good.
do it. You can do it in 3 days. If
How
you
long of a
play-
game is it?
It's like 20-ish hours, 24.
Yeah, 24, 20, anywhere from 20 to 30 hours.
Is that including cutscenes and everything too?
Yeah. Like playing through the MSQ without going crazy with side quests. 24-ish hours.
Kind of hard not to go crazy with side quests, to be honest with you. When you get into a game, you kind of
By-
want to
by
learn.
I mean,
Crazy.
I did all the side quests, and it took me probably like 30-ish,
Yeah.
like around 30 hours to be
Yeah.
20 to 30.
By crazy, I mean do every single one.
Oh,
Yeah, probably
okay.
like 30, like Tay said. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do every single one.
So everybody here is going to try to do Ultimate in some form or fashion. Larry, are you going pretty? Actually, Larry, are you going to try to do it?
I don't think so.
Oh.
It's like 100 hours of time.
Do you want to do it
with?
with me? We can do a Party Finder together.
Yeah, I mean, if we're on it the same, if we're both, because you know you're only when you're available.
It's true. It's true.
If you're available and I'm available, sure.
okay.
Like I think I might end up doing it like that too. It's just like when I have the free time.
And see, you just have to be really clear with that progression and Party Finder, and hope to dear God everybody's telling the truth about their
Yeah.
experience.
I mean, my UCOB group, we want to do it. I don't know if we're gonna end up doing it at the same time, like I don't know if we're gonna wait or something. Because I didn't even clear Titan yet, dude. I need BIS before I do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Your
I
viewers,
don't plan on doing it. It's just
Your viewers want you to
Maybe
play
later.
Nier. Let us watch you beat it. It's also $40, dude. I don't know. I looked at it. I was
Nier?
like, yeah,
it's,
it's
worth
old
60.
though.
It's worth
Uh,
100.
Okay, maybe we'll see. All right. Besides this, Ultimate's coming out. It's not going to be for everybody, right? They're not all going to want to do Ultimate. They're going to want to do maybe the new Trial, Hades.
That's gonna be harder than Ultimate.
Is it?
Yeah,
To
you
sit
wanna know
through the
why? Because
cutscenes?
no, because it's gonna be so hard because you're gonna be crying the whole time. You can't play the game.
I don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
Let's be friends. Maybe that's like the end of like not Ultimate, Extreme. You get to you right before you're gonna kill him, but right at that killing blow, you're like, we have a happy ending this time, and you just walk away into the sunset with him. And it's just a story that the minstrel's telling you. It didn't really happen, but you know, who cares? It's just a story that's being told by the minstrel. It doesn't matter.
Go on a dating sim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the active time where you go and make dating choices as you're going through.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Baka.
I think it looks like it could be pretty cool. They already did so much with it in the normal fight. Like I can't remember any normal fight where I felt like it was that many little transitions and cutscenes and everything else. What else could they really add to it? Give him another form?
I mean, he's gonna not telegraph AoEs, obviously.
Right.
We've already seen that where he starts the fight with double, and then everything he does, he'll do twice. So you'll have your spots, right? Your sleuth spots or whatever you want to call them, and he'll do cones in every direction, and then you have to move out of those cones because they're gonna hit again.
Yeah.
I saw
mechanic we saw.
one part of the fight. It seemed like I don't remember this in the normal fight where like he summoned some No, there were the Ossians that we as ads, weren't they?
Yeah, but they weren't. It looked like they were like casting meteors and stuff this time around. So
That seemed a little bit more engaging.
They're
so
bigger.
that we might see some more lore as to like maybe the past Ossians that we've beaten. You know, as he's like shouldering all their dreams, their ambitions. We'll see. Might see something a little bit more Zodiac-ish.
Yeah. And Leon's
There's
saying
an
here in
Ascian
chat
Prime.
that, you know, we did see that little cutscene where he's actually above the burning Amarat, where there's like meteors falling down and everything. I don't think that was in the original normal fight where you saw that in the background. That was just in
That's
the
new.
duty.
I'm excited. I kind of want it to be like a very unique fight compared to the normal mode, you know? Because I mean, like, Shinryu had its own whole phase that wasn't in normal mode, so we can see some really crazy stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be saving that for Nest because I want to do the 24-man on launch.
I think it has the potential to be my favorite Extreme Primal ever.
Really?
Right now mine is Shinryu and Thornton are pretty far up there, but
Yeah.
Thornton was
Good.
my favorite range so far.
It was really good. It's very solid. I think a lot of people will go back to that and say that was like kind of the peak of Primal creation for him. Other ones are kind of interesting and they have cool stuff, but that one was challenging and it had every phase was different, right? Every phase you had to kind of learn what was going to happen there.
Which is why I think Hades has the potential of being that.
Yeah. But they really didn't give us too much on it, right? I think what he said was that it's going to be Shinryu difficulty. So that seems about right. You know, that's
Seems
acceptable.
right,
yeah. And there's going to be a lot of cutscenes.
Well, no, he just said the cutscene would be long.
Oh, did he just say it was going to be long?
Yeah, I meant like, I think you mean like one breakpoint. Like the breakpoint between the phases, I guess. But like from what you could see already, like it looked like there's at least like 5 because you got the first one and then you got the one with the Amoritian, however you the plural of them. and then you got the one of there's like an Ascian Prime, it looked like. It was like the same one that was in that dungeon in like Heavensward or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's like another one after that, and it looked like he was powering up, and that was the scene where it had Amarat under him. So
I'm
Yeah.
excited. It looks like it'll be really cool.
I mean, do you think it's inappropriate for them to put these cutscenes in during these fights and it makes them less enjoyable to repeat? Or are you guys okay with it?
For repeating, probably. But for what this fight is, I think it's extremely appropriate.
For this specific fight, yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I've never
I mean,
minded
they're giving us
cutscenes.
double totems, right? Like
Yeah.
they're kind of making up for it a little bit. The farm will be a little bit less.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe if it had like a higher chance for mount drops for people who are farming, those would be fine too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I want to play it, and I want to keep. I like getting into content and just going back and doing it over and over. Like Twintania, it's funny. I've been doing so much Party Finder this expansion. When I do have free time, I don't like do a lot of I don't go level another job. I don't go do other stuff that's like productive for my own character. I'm like, I'll just go clear this fight again. I don't need anything from it. I'll just go clear it again because that's fun. And so I'm gonna see if like Hades could be kind of like that too, because there were. I'm trying to think of the unique mechanics they had, like the stuff coming down. I think that was one of the most confusing parts of it that I remember because it's been a while since I've actually done the normal mode.
The circles?
Yeah, the circles coming down.
Yeah.
Those were just a void, right?
Yeah, it's a circle. It's a small circle, but then when it touches, it's a bigger circle that it explodes as. So it's just letting you know that there's going to be a big circle centered there.
Okay. Because I'm trying to think if there's a lot of unique stuff in there that we might have to like guess at.
I mean,
but
that's the one unique thing. The other things are like it has an earth shaker. Oh, the one thing it has is like a tether. Like in the last phase, it has a tether from the boss to you, and it does it to all 8 people. And what it does is the tether, it just drops an AoE around that person and it goes away. So I would assume in maybe the extreme version, it still targets all 8, but then when it targets you and drops the AoE, it stays there. So like all 8 people have to go to the outside maybe to drop their AoEs outside and then go in. And so the arena is smaller now.
Okay. Agree with that.
I would assume like one thing.
All right.
It's hard to imagine because they could always make their own new things, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, this is most of the raid content stuff that they're getting. But the Alliance, sure, like it's hard to consider that. I mean, it's kind of raid content, but to people, it's not going. It is going to be challenging. It's going to be really challenging for the first like couple of weeks where you go into groups and they disband.
Yeah, that's always the case.
The general populace.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for this fight. we go in every time when we start progging it. Anytime a mechanic goes out, I'm going to do it the opposite of how we usually would, because that's been the trend for all of Shadowbringers.
What?
Most of the mechanics in raid content or even like the expert dungeons, they're like, oh, here's a marker, or here's a thing. This is good, right? You're supposed to do this, and then it does the complete opposite of that.
Oh yeah. I guess like that. So you're saying that they're designing stuff. They're like, oh, you should expect to dodge this, but you're not supposed to dodge this.
Yes, they're going to be subverting expectations again because they've been doing it the entire time.
It all started with Kefka.
Like the last boss of Annider, the Quetzalcoatl.
Oh
yeah,
those little lightning balls. You actually want to grab those to get the DPS.
Whereas the
but
second
if you played
one,
Ramu, that's right. You're supposed to do that. So.
But then they do it in the
but then the other dungeon, the twinning has the lightning balls that just explode.
Oh, okay.
They're just baiting you left and right.
And then
Jack
Black
pointed
Smokers,
that out to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Black Smokers. Oh, it's a puddle. Remember, puddles
Stand
are
in
bad. Get away from the puddles. It's like, no, you're supposed to stand in it.
I think Black Smokers was like the coolest mechanic in that whole fight. Tsunami 2 and Black Smokers was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought I would think it was an interesting mechanic too if I even had to do anything.
Yeah, you just have to stand over and get an AoE on you.
Sit there.
Yeah.
Oh, hallowed ground. All right.
You don't got to do shit.
We can do it, guys. Go. That's all I'm doing in the corner.
You don't have to do shit.
It sucks because I've wiped so many times to that mechanic, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's no way I can make it better. There's no way I could do. But anyways,
me and Drac talked about this a lot. Is like just tank specific mechanics in general have really dwindled.
Yeah.
Since earlier days, like A Realm Reborn and Heavensward days.
Mm-hmm.
Like tank specific things that you need to worry about.
hey, I embalmed this one. Now I'll just pop every cooldown for this one. Cool.
Right. That's all you got to do.
I was really hoping it would be different, but I tanked this tier and I am already ready to swap off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just watch the next one's going to be like, all right, pick these ads, and then you got to get this into this quadrant, and it'll be
I don't care. I don't
Grab
care. I'm
these
playing
things.
Ninja. I don't care. I'm gonna play Ninja one way or another, man. I don't give a shit.
I mean, I'm still enjoying tanking because there is positioning that you got to worry about in E2S, right? So that kind of matters.
Positioning, yeah.
Yeah, and
Positioning's one
E4S has a little bit of positioning that you have to worry about, and I think that does make an interesting dynamic. Is making sure
Yeah.
that tanks know how to position properly, and that goes out the door in E3S. But I mean, the other thing is, tanks have 2 buttons to manage their enmity, and
Yeah.
it's so little. You like shirk, but they don't do it. So many tanks don't shirk.
We ran into that a lot when we pug. Yeah. The
It's
pug
rough.
tanks won't shirk.
So tanking in pugs is actually kind of interesting because you're looking for the tank to provoke. You're like, okay, I gotta wait for him to provoke, and you're just looking at it. You're not in Discord because I hate Discord. So you're not listening to Discord stuff at all, and so you're just watching for that provoke to happen. Then you hit your shirk, but you don't know when it's going to happen. It could happen here or 2 minutes later. And so that's my excitement. Tanking and
Pug
party
tanking seems fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whenever we have to fill our tank spot, like if we do a raid night and we have to fill the tank, it's always like they're not shirking. Like they'll do the provoke switch, but then they don't shirk. So they end up like dying because of it because they don't shirk.
Yep. And then like if I just do it for the mechanic, then I just shirk them to give them the enmity back. So there's no debating like who's supposed to have it. But that's in E3S.
Yeah.
And there's some tank changes that we'll talk about here in a second. We're pretty close to it, but I do want to touch on Blue Mage a little bit because we were talking about how it baited us. Have you guys even
Finally.
thought about Blue Mage at all? I guess
Not
Drac
before now.
has. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I was just nervous that they would release it with everything, but I was happy to hear that it's going to be, like Larry said, 5.15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the
It won't
PvP
get-
players will do PvP, and then all the people not doing PvP will do Blue Mage. So
Yeah. Which I'm curious on your thoughts on them removing 24 mans. Like not entirely,
what?
but like you can't go in as or they're what is it? One party now? Just one
yeah,
party.
and so like it's you go in as a party of 4, and then you can't like
What?
pre-made the 8 for front lines, and then they are not doing the smaller versions of front lines anymore, I think, and they're doing only larger
Yes.
versions.
Hold on. Wait, what?
It is what it is. Yeah, that's what's going on.
What is the change?
Pre-mades where you can make 8 people and then queue up for a
Yeah.
front line. No more.
Yeah.
You can do 4
only
people.
4 max.
Only 4? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a problem for me.
And they also removed 8v8 v8.
Yeah.
So now the queues will always be, what is it, 72
Yep.
total
It's
people.
always 72.
The queues are already not great.
No.
I
why
like
did
how
they
we
do
started
that?
talking about Blue Mage and we instantly went to PvP because
I
maybe
wanted-
PvP is more interesting than Blue Mage or something. I mean,
I
Yeah,
want-
that's that.
I don't think you understand how much I want PvP to be good because I thoroughly enjoyed it early on, but the
Okay.
queues kill it.
Wait,
It-
dude,
it's,
what?
It's worse than DPS queues. It's awful.
Dude.
I mean, I play fighting games, so competitive stuff is what I'm all about, but it's not worth the time.
so
Dude.
you guys know my thoughts and opinions on a lot of PvP stuff. I will say when we're talking about large PvP,
He doesn't count it.
I don't usually count it as real PvP.
Yeah.
But because it doesn't, your actions mean so little.
Yeah.
In the broader scheme, when you start adding tons and tons of people, you don't feel like you have an effect. In an 8v8v8, you probably feel like you have an effect in some way.
Little bit.
And so you can actually go out there and you can make the map smaller and just make that the PvP. And you have so many queues going because everyone's queuing for it. And so you have multiple instances of it happening. And so you don't have to wait a long time for the next queue to pop. So when you limit it down to just 72 man, yeah, that's kind of interesting because you have this crazy big battle between 3 teams and everything else. The concept's interesting, but in all practicality, enjoying PvP doesn't work as well in that fashion, or to me.
I don't remember. Do you like the 1v1v1 formula?
Oh no, I think it's stupid.
Okay.
I-
Thank you.
You mean AV8?
No, just like the
Team
3
versus team
parties.
versus team. Three
Yeah,
teams.
3 parties.
Yeah.
So that odd that
I didn't like
always
that.
infuriated me in front lines because it's like, oh great, we're two teams are fighting and one's just dicking off winning the match.
Yeah, and then
We don't have to compete.
exactly, and then you lose because some other one for another team that's not even your team is making you lose because they're
Yeah.
playing incorrectly to not try to win. They're just bots. They're running around. It's just a whole cluster of nonsense. And I'm always like the competitive 1 versus 1 because there's a clear winner in there that's not some other side variable to the situation. But it's their format that they want to run with, and they're going to keep pushing it as much as they can, I guess.
They should have added Ishgard as a grand company, just done 2v2 or 2v2 or four different teams. Just even it out.
Yeah.
Even it out, and it'll be better.
I'm actually really upset over that we can't queue as 8 because that's what we usually do. Like on raid nights, if like somebody's out and we just do 1 and 2 or something, and we don't want to do the later ones because we want to wait for the other person, we'll just go PvP now as like 7 people. Now we can't do that. We have to do 4 and 3.
Yep.
That's so stupid.
And then then you're like, oh well, I'm kind of bored. I'm gonna go sleep, and then the one group will fall apart because it doesn't have enough people. And I know, yeah.
That's actually kind of dumb. Well, whatever. I
mean,
guess it's frontline.
It is frontline, and I mean, they did say some things that were kind of appealing about Feast, or not Feast in general, but PvP is that they're going to increase the actions. And we all heard complaints about it, but you guys who aren't like really invested in PvP, but are familiar a little bit. Does that entice you to want to maybe engage a little bit more, knowing you'll have more actions and it'll be a little bit more depth?
Maybe. I really didn't like how much they simplified it because I don't know. I liked how they originally did it, where it was you have your normal kit, it's just tuned for PvP, and then they keep like they oversimplified it to me. I don't mind it all being on one button. That's whatever. But the fact that like you don't have as many tools, or you have to basically relearn what you have available, or your instinct is like, because I queued up for it a while ago and I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit. Oh, I don't have this. Never mind. I don't know what to do then. I've used up everything in 10 seconds.
They've done some funny stuff, like Paladin, for example. It doesn't get the bonus from Ruckusat unless if it has no mana. It's like the opposite of PvE, and so they just encourage you to keep spamming and keep low mana as a Paladin who could use his mana in a situation a little bit better for various things, but you try to kill what your resources are. There's some stuff that's a little bit goofy right now, and I was hoping that they would go in and say a lot of stuff. They would give us the information on these changes. They didn't give us any of the job changes that are happening. They didn't give us any of the feast
they
changes
just said
that are happening.
substantial changes and then didn't go over it at all.
That's it.
Yeah. And so it was a little disheartening as someone who wants to know what's going to... Because I've considered 5.0 PvP to not really exist. It does. It's out there. People go in and are enjoying it in some way right now. But I felt like it was going to be such a huge change that's going to happen in 5.1. There was no point for me to invest time in that because I only had so much time. I was just going to focus on PvE, then jump in at 5.1. But I still have nothing. It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Right? They release all these other details and information about these other changes coming forward, but not that. And I guess that's just the state of things, right? I don't know.
If they want PvP to be good, they're not treating it like they want it to be good.
No, it certainly seems like the team did it just to have it. It very much seems like an afterthought, which is unfortunate because, like I said, I personally really, really enjoy competitive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
But the fact that it's either so dumbed down or I don't know. It was obviously like getting used to the community is its own deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like trying to get used to it, and people were like, "Wow, you suck at this." I'm like, "Do you want to be like constructive or anything? Like, let me know so I can help you out." But
most of those people are new players too. They're telling you suck and don't say anything else. They just want to vent off and give an excuse to why they lost.
It's like trying to figure out how I'm gonna adapt, and just it's tough. So, but or like I'm listening to the call outs of the people. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna trust you. And then the things don't work. You guys fucking suck. I'm like, I'm listening.
That's standard PvP though, and
Dude.
my plan didn't work because you guys are horrible.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Spamming thanks.
Yeah.
Spamming
Good job.
Nice job.
Nice job.
The the big thing that I'm taking away from this is that like I've been following what's going to happen with PvP changes and everything, and they're saying some of the right stuff that we want to hear. The things like the broader terms of like we need more actions, we need more of this and that, but we haven't gotten anything we can sink our teeth into that would make us really excited for it. And the PvP community overall is jaded as shit, and they need stuff.
Is PvP coming out in point? It's point 1.5, right?
The battlegrounds is. We don't know if the PvP changes are going to happen, or if they're going to start a new season at the beginning of the expansion for Feast, or what they might do.
Because I'm wondering if they're going to have like a live letter. They could have a live letter just completely dedicated to that if the changes are so substantial.
When are they going to? They have 2 weeks to do the live letter, I guess. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is if it's in 0.15, that'll be a little more down the road, you know.
But it's been so long. It's been how long since the expansion was released, and PvP's been dead since then, basically. To me,
When Stormblood came out, it feast like I think in 4.0 it had a whole new feast, didn't it?
Yeah, and they made that's
right
the
away.
funny thing. Like in Tate, when we were interviewing Yoshida, it was the first question I asked. I was like, the whole like media tour, we had a whole section dedicated to all the PvP changes and everything else. There was nothing here at this media tour, and they basically said they didn't want to blend all the the PvE changes together with the PvP changes, and they're making a lot of decisions that weren't completely ready to release yet. And so I was like, okay, but we're still kind of at that point in coverage for information in regards to PvP, and we're 2 weeks away from actually seeing it. So, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. It feels like they're kind of pulling away from caring about it.
I don't think they're pulling away from caring about it. They just, I can't speak for them. I don't want to speak for them, but like, I feel like they're just, what's obvious is the community is not happy with the information they have so far, and we're all waiting with bated breath.
Well, I mean, there would have been, like, if we're going by past expansions, it's always been within the 0.0 patch, like maybe halfway through, like the 0.05. But it's always been, we've always gotten new PvP stuff within that 0.0 half.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't this time.
Yeah.
So, what's the word? Like, frontline stuff isn't really technically the PvP that the PvP players care about. They care about Feast.
Mm-hmm. Like the dedicated PvP players who are like real. I mean, there are people who are really dedicated to, you know, front lines and everything else. But the competitive side of it, where you can actually say, "Oh, we can do maybe a tournament." You can't do a front lines tournament. There's just not enough people.
About Feast.
They care about Feast because you can actually go in there and make a difference with 4 people. But we'll see. I mean, I can only wait until the patch notes, and then maybe, you know, I'll have some information.
You know, what's a little disappointing too is that the new front lines that they're adding for PvP is an expansion late. It's the Barden or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was
that would have been cool, like when it happened in the story.
It would have been so cool. And again, if it was only like if it was an even number of teams. I don't know why they're sticking to 3 teams, because they already removed the requirement to be a grand company. Like it's no longer you're fighting for your grand company, you're just doing front lines.
Well, my whole theory was they'd want just a big mess PvP system, so people don't feel bad when they lose because they have no control. It's just a big mess.
Oh, it is so frustrating.
So that's
you get second. That's not so bad, right?
It's so easy to just blame another team for your loss. You know, it's so easy to be like, well, they did this thing and we couldn't do that because of it. It's just, I don't know. It's just easy to say, oh, this PvP sucks.
You queue in, you're like, oh, I lost because I'm adders.
Like, it's not great. Frontlines is not great.
Well, they're making it closer to Seal Rock, which is what was like the best in most people's minds of what Frontlines PvP should be. And so we'll see how that pans out. And they also said once you capture a tower, you don't lose it. So it's going to be like a lot of, I capture a tower, now I'll go fight people.
Yeah,
so it'll be a little bit
I like the idea about that. I don't like the idea of just camping an objective. So like, I just want to be able to get in and get out, you know, and just go do my thing and then die, you know.
And then die because 50 people zerg you.
Hell yeah.
All right. So back to Blue Mage. We could talk about maybe a little bit about Blue Mage. I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize this until recently. I don't even have Blue Mage unlocked under my main character.
What?
I don't.
You have it on an alt?
I was playing it on one of my EU alts when I was playing EU PvP for a little bit, and I was doing it in between queues. I was like, I'll go kill stuff between queues, but I was never at the point of like, you know what? I'm kind of happy that the resident sleepers are in regards to Blue Mage and not PvP. It's like it's taken the mantle, the torch of the resident sleepers.
I really enjoy it. I enjoy it on launch because then you've got a whole bunch of parties together, kind of like same goal, and it's just you go back out into the open world. It's reminiscent of like old MMO stuff. It's not engaging content, but it's like it's social content, and that's something that I miss in modern MMOs.
It's the type of content that people will enjoy, and it's not something that's horrible. It's not something I can invest my time in. Because I have other things I'd rather do. There's more things that are more appealing. For example, the Ultimate and doing raids and PvP and everything. That's more interesting to me. Like and like for example, I don't do a lot of seasonal events because I'd rather spend my time doing something else with the time I have. And even though they could be fun and interesting, they're not alluring enough to pull me away from what I want to do.
Right.
And this is it. This is Blue Mage is one of those things. It's probably not going to be enough to pull me into it. But I do know there are people out there who like it because it's one of the only solo semi-competitive things that are out there outside of Palace of the Dead and so on. Well, you have the circus, right?
The one thing that they said about like how the way to get the achievement or whatever they were talking about, like the log or whatever, is the only way to do it is if you do it synced and without echo. That's definitely cool. Because like the assumption is you could go into Thornton, and the way to get the Thornton ability or whatever is you have to be synced, do it for real without echo. So that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
It is interesting, but you have to want to play a Blue Mage too. You have to want to say, hey, I want to level up and get all these abilities and go through that.
You need the abilities to be able to do it.
You know, it's kind of one of those things that's almost close to Eureka at the same time. Like, there's lots of fun things that you can do, but you need to go through the process of going and collecting and leveling and progressing stuff that you might not enjoy as much to get to the part that you really want to enjoy. Well, that's MMOs in general, I guess, but
yeah,
it's weird. It's hard for me to... Is anyone here? All right, anyone here is like, yeah, I'm gonna do Blue Mage.
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
yeah, I'll do it. I
already like have. Blue Mage. I think it's fun.
Yeah. It's something to do on stream as well. Like just for my specific situation, it'd be fun to get people together just to like farm stuff or just have some fun. And
my only problem with Blue Mage is I think it's a fun activity, but it has no longevity at all.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Eureka did. Like, you could go back into Eureka, and there was actually a point to do it. Like, even if you finished it, there was some stuff you could get, some stuff you could collect, money to make. But Blue Mage is just, it's done. When you do it, it's done.
Yeah. They turned it into the only challenging stuff was solo content with the Carnival.
Unless the log has stuff that you get from it, and so you care about doing it.
Yeah.
Like, it depends what we get. And it depends if you could do Palace of the Dead with it, because now it's going to be 60. So,
can you? I mean, they could limit it to not.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is I hope that you can do Palace of the Dead now.
They should allow that, because that would, like, what's the reason not to? Right.
Right.
They're gonna ruin Palace of the Dead for the other player. Like, who?
Yeah. Like, who cares? Like, you should be able to do it.
There's no reason not to unlock that for sure.
Yeah. So if they don't, it's going to be like, why not? And then that would make me really not care about Blue Mage, because the one thing that would be really good for Blue Mage's content would be Palace of the Dead.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And I would also say this kind of shows that they're doubling down on, hey, this is going to be content that we make. This is the type of limited job system that we're going to work with, and we're going to keep going with this, and it's not going to be a real job. Are you guys okay with that?
No, personally. Initially I was like, it's better than nothing, because you have people, I don't know if there's a specific term for it, but it's in another reality, they would be complaining about the opposite thing. So like, for when Blue Mage came out, people were like, this is garbage, they should have never come out with it. But then people who really want a Blue Mage, those same people, they're like, you know what, Final Fantasy XIV's formula doesn't work for Blue Mage. It just won't work for it. It'll be too stressful for the players. It'll create some potential toxicity. People were like, well, it'd be nice to at least have something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's that.
Or they could have just made it a
duality.
job, and then like we understand it's a Final Fantasy 14 version of Blue Mage.
Yeah, they could have done that too. But
They sure
it's
could have.
it's like those people would be like, well, it's a bastardized version of it because we can't learn everything, or it's just
Did people think that with Red Mage? No.
It's
I don't
summoner,
know.
like
It's
you're
a
not
different thing than
summoning
Red Mage.
giant things out of the sky to come and do stuff every once in a while, right? It's,
I mean, I'm not. This isn't my take personally,
I got you. No.
but it's
Yeah, I'm talking about
definitely-
people.
Yeah, and that's who they're catering to, though, or that's who they're thinking about, or that's I don't know. I really would have liked it just to be its own job,
Mhm.
to be its own thing, to have it an adaptation. I didn't know how they would do it. But
Mm-hmm.
that would have been cool because I'm really worried about Beastmaster as a potential job.
Oh yeah, it's
And then
gone. It's a
If
limited
they
job.
if it's to go limited job, I'm like, what's the point of collecting all these pets if I can't use them in a fight, or if there's no like rearing system, or unless they make it very much almost like Tamagotchi like, where you actually breed your pets to get rare versions and like cool versions. I'm not going to give a damn about it because they have it with Chocobo racing, but who does Chocobo racing?
Hey,
I know
I've
like
done
one
Chocobo
person.
racing, but it's I
was so excited for Chocobo racing when then it died, and I'm like, oh yay, I get to race against bots. That's fun.
Yep. There's
That's
no
so great.
developers for it. Another piece of information me and Tate found out recently.
So yeah, it's I don't know. I like that it's something for Blue Mage,
Mhm.
but I play Final Fantasy for the raiding.
Yeah.
So the fact that I can't take it into raids or that in dungeons or whatever, just for fun, it breaks the content. It's kind of the same thing with or to me, it seems a similar mindset of why they don't allow you to have your full kit when you level sync. It's like, oh, it would break it. It would break it. It's like, but it's not fun to go back to nothing.
Yeah, go back to level 15 content hurts really
yeah.
bad right now. Level 50, yeah.
It's just like, just lower the potencies. I just want my rotation. I want to keep my rotation. I don't want to be like, oh, I don't have every cool thing. Because like they said in, I think it was your interview, Larry, where they design jobs with their like final product in mind.
Yeah.
So just the fact that we have to like retcon all this stuff is to a very clearly incomplete version now that we know what they've done is just so frustrating. But that's my take on it.
Oh, I appreciate your 2 cents. That's why you're here, dude. But that being said, there is something else I wanted to talk about people. Like we're doing a pretty much a full show only with part of the live letters so far. The big thing that people, of course, saw besides this content we're gonna do is some of the job changes and everything else that's coming out. Which we already got a chuckle here for Mr.
That's
Larry.
huge. There's so much.
There is, and so we're not gonna hit every single bit of the job changes, I don't think, but we'll hit about what you guys would like to talk about with it. So, Larry, you're a big part of the job changes that are coming up. It's pretty important for you, right? With all the summoner stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, in raid, I raid as actually a samurai, so it's actually kind of double big for me
Mm-hmm.
because there's samurai changes and summoner. Because obviously, I'm always going to care about summoner. I always play it. So,
Mm-hmm. So,
but
do you think that summoner is going to come back with any of these changes?
no, what the no, they have no idea how to fix this shit. This is nothing. This does nothing.
Yeah.
Like even if the only thing it does is increase the damage, I mean, fine, whatever. I don't care. If it increases the damage, that's fine.
Mhm.
But I don't know. They see, okay, so what Square sees is like, oh, Summoner's really busy with all their Eggy assaults. I know what we can do. Let's make the Eggy assaults GCD.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't do anything. That actually makes other things worse. and then the Bane thing doesn't fucking matter. The the Try Disaster thing was so last Try Disaster there was a little bit of optimization because you would have like a few seconds of ruination, so your ruin spells are buffed, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Shadowbringers came out, they made it 30 seconds. So that was like, okay, I guess ruination isn't so much of an optimization thing now, but it still kind of exists. It's just not a lot. Now they're just like, delete ruination. That's no optimization now. Screw that. We'll just do some damage.
Momo just gave us some information here saying that there is a little bit more information released saying overall action recast will be adjusted to make it align nicely.
What? They released some information about Summoner that wasn't talked about in the live letter.
Yeah. And then he said overall action recast cooldowns will be adjusted to make it align nicely.
What the hell does that mean?
No more triple weaving. I don't know.
Yeah.
Align's better. You won't have that 2 seconds where you don't have dots for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
That's a
'Cause I
whole
played
pet
Summoner.
shit.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, maybe they didn't say much about it because they knew it wasn't going to be the exact answer people wanted, but maybe it'll be a bonus. You're like, oh, maybe it does play a little bit better now because we're expecting
It's
the
gonna
worst.
play like shit.
Okay.
They putting Eggy Assaults on GCDs sucks because the way it used to be is like you would go into Dreadrune Trance because you're like, oh, Dreadrune Trance is nice. It's a cooldown. I got instant cast Ruin 3s all the time. This is really nice. I could just use my Eggy Assaults now. But now, no, it's not going to be like that. Now, when you go into
Like, what's the point of Dreadworm Trance at all now, right?
Yeah, like now you're going to go into Dreadworm Trance, and now you're not going to want to use your Eggy Assaults during Dreadworm Trance because Eggy Assaults are instant. You're going to want to be using Ruin 3s, so you're going to want your Eggy Assaults to be on cooldown during then, so it's going to be a whole nother chore to go into Dreadworm Trance. It's going to suck. It's going to feel like shit.
I'm glad that Larry's at the point with Summoner now that I was with Monk and Stormblood.
I love Summoner. I love Summoner. Aesthetically, I love it. Playstyle wise, it fucking sucks. It sucks.
All right. They
can't fix it. They need to change it completely.
They
Different
can't
job.
fix
Make it a
it. They
different
need to
job.
just make a new job.
I'll send you my notes. You can make the why I don't like Summoner and Shadowbringers.
I'm so upset.
Sorry, man. All right, what about Samurai?
change.
What about Samurai? Did they
Samurai's great.
they great?
Samurai did really good. Yeah, I like those changes. They did really good.
Yeah.
That was a good. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Right along the lines of what I was hoping, like at least similar to what I was hoping, because they had two options for Shoha, and that was to make it hit really hard when you got five stacks. I already kind of wanted it to. Larry and I talked about this. I wanted the timer for meditation stacks to go away.
Goes away.
Now it's away. I guess it wasn't too much of an issue for Larry, who's played it in raid content, which I have not. But yeah, they that was something that I wanted. So they did that. But then the other thing was to make Shoha more interesting, which is, I don't know why they settled on 3 stacks, I guess for flow, because now it'll be in your opener. Because I'm pretty sure I think it'll be in your opener. You'll be able
because you'll get it through Meditate, Iejutsu, and Tsubame, so you'll get 3 stacks of it in the opener, and you can use it within your pot.
Yeah, just make sure you have regen on so you can see the server tick. It's the thing for
shit.
Monk and Notman. I hate server ticks in this game.
Oh, they're great, dude. You should see the dodges I did in E4S the other day with those server ticks, man.
That was the exact opposite for me.
Was it?
Yeah, because I'm like, all right, I'm in this spot. Okay, the explosion just went out. I have a half second more on this like cast, so I start to move, and then I'm in the other square. Boom, dead. I'm like, perfect. That's great. I love this. This is awesome.
I don't know what it was, but like I've dodged those punches in the worst, or the most unexpected ways. Completely like, oh, I'm dead. Well, I guess I'll try something, and it works, and I don't die. I don't know. I might try to do that in Party Finder, see how many people I can piss off doing it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Tate, tell me one of these job changes that you're really focused on, man. Tell me the one that you care about the most.
Ninja.
Ninja, yeah.
I like Ninja.
They did talk about Ninja a good bit. Do you think that they made the changes that you're looking for them to make?
No. Okay, the Tenchi Jin change is fantastic. It's exactly what people wanted for it.
Yeah.
Which is you don't have to actually press the ninjutsu button anymore. You just uses it. That's great. The Mudra change is not exactly what I wanted, but I'm interested to see how it plays out. My problem with the Mudra change right now, and obviously this is pure speculation, is I feel like it's going to make the job feel a lot more slowed down because it's a GCD now and it goes into your GCD rotation, and that's really weird to me.
Yeah, it will be quicker though, yeah? Like 0.5 seconds?
That's the same as it is right now. So that's interesting. I'm going to play it. I'm going to try it out because all the other changes are cool. So they also removed the double Kasatsus, which means you're not getting another Kasatsu in your opener, but you still get the Mudra because now Mudra is stacked to 2. So you don't have to pump them out every 20 seconds on the dot. You're not stressing out about that because that's a huge thing that stresses a lot of people out on Ninja. Overall, I think the class is going to get a lot easier, which I
think that's fine.
I think that's fine, but I wish Square would just let some jobs be difficult.
Yeah, I agree.
I think how we have Ninja right now would be perfectly. I've said it a million times on everywhere I've gone, but my ideal Mudra change is being able to GCD during Mudras. I would like to be able to GCD, prep Raiton, GCD, and then use Raiton.
But so that it the ninjutsu doesn't get broken by GCDs.
Yeah, and that would fix a lot of the latency issues, right? And they could just make it so it's like somewhat like a dance where it goes on cooldown when you start using it rather than when you finish using it, sort of deal, so it doesn't fuck up your timers or anything like that. But I'm excited to see how this current change is. And also the 50 changing Ninki generation and letting you use stuff at 50 Ninki is phenomenal because now we're not going to overcap in 3D GCDs. So basically all the stress about using things quickly on Ninja is gone, and I think that's an okay change. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll let you know that these tank changes, they're a little
completely uncalled for.
They're completely uncalled for.
I don't know why. Like I feel like they're making them for the ultimate fight. Like, I can't think of any other reason. They did something in Ultimate where they're like, you're going to need a little bit longer of this cooldown here. And that's the only reason why. Or a little bit longer on the reprisal.
Does it worth changing the entire game for just what you might need in an Ultimate, though? I don't think so.
It depends on the design team. I don't know.
I mean, like, these changes are going to be, like, it's going to be a lot of nice quality of life stuffs, too. Because I'm tanking E4 last night, and I'm like, man, I wish reprisal was 10 seconds. Or, man, I wish my 30% was a little bit longer here, just for the sake of it hitting both of these things, rather than the window.
I don't know, dude. I
mean, I don't need it by any means, but I'm going to be okay with it.
It's too cozy, man. It's too cozy to have it.
That's what I'm saying. It's cozy. It's way too cozy for the heal. Like talking about healer perspective.
Well, I guess like you're making the life better for the healer. The tank doesn't give a shit.
And the healers don't need their life better.
So boring.
Right. The healers don't need their life better. They already don't need a heal.
Right.
This is just making them need to heal even less than they needed to.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, I mean, like the thing is all it's really going to do is give you an extra auto that has less damage, right? Because I mean, if it spans the range properly already, I mean, it gives you a little bit more leniency if you hit it too early, and it's just going to clip an auto to make it a little bit less, right?
Well, there are certain things like reprisal being 10 seconds now. You're going to be able to cover multiple AoEs with it now in certain fights.
That's true.
As well as with the 30% being longer, and there's a lot. Like reprisal is huge. That's
like E2S quietest at the end.
And they're gonna make it AoE too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really gonna affect too much outside of
dungeons, right? Dungeons are gonna be ridiculous.
I love that.
It'll be good for dungeons. Yeah, that's good.
Maybe it'll be good for Hades. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, I would like more fights with interesting ad phases and stuff. So
Yeah, like A2S, man.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, E1, like the ad phase, you can take turns reprisaling the AOE's coming out.
True.
Because you can AOE reprisal them now. It's an interesting concept, but right now we don't really need it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I miss T4.
T4.
T4 was the best tank fight.
T4 had interesting ads. A2S did not, Frosty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved
A2S did not have good
T4.
ads.
I only saw A2 from behind the wheel of the Godwalker, so it's
Yeah, so the ads
I
were nothing.
tanked it. I didn't mind A2. It's just
I
it
tanked
was
it
just
too.
kind of you just kind of something you just get through.
Yeah. It was just like
I-
I want to
I
do this so I
liked-
could go to Pepsi.
I
man.
thought it was interesting in the fact that you like there were the hard mines or whatever. You had to do so. You had to kill them quickly first, kind of thing. I mean, it was a little deep, whatever, but you know.
Yeah. But I mean, I do wish they put more ads going forward. I mean, this would be a good reason to put ads in a fight because now you can reduce the damage of all of them with these reprisals and everything. And
Yeah.
it's not tank dependent, so it's not going to mess up the job balance in any way. You can just have a tank that has reprisal, and that's it. But I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did you guys see any complaints about it being too small or anything out there that would bring this up?
Nope.
I mean, most people are complaining about tanking being too easy right now, so it's wild to me.
Yeah.
It's
Tanking and
absolutely
healing.
wild. Yeah, tanking and healing are both extremely.
It's for
Yeah, so
ultimate.
I don't see
it's
the
for
reason.
ultimate. There has to be something in ultimate where it's just going to barely make it work out to where they just needed those 5.
Well, like, why would they change the classes to ultimate and not design ultimate around what we have the classes as? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying. They wouldn't do that. They shouldn't change the design of the class for the entire game just because of what happens in ultimate.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even if you're a bad tank, having those extra seconds doesn't really usually help you, right? Unless because most tanks don't hit early, they just forget to use it completely.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's
right.
changing anything for new tanks. It would change things for tanks who want to plan it out a little bit more, but they don't need it.
It's not going to change things for tanks as much. It's going to change things for healers more.
Yeah, I mean, it'd
Is
be
the
if
big
your tank's
change.
really good, then they'll make the healer heal less, and there'll be more of spamming a one damage button. I
I
guess.
like the AoE reprisal in dungeons. That'll be fun.
No, that's
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great.
But aside from that, I mean, I still like the arm's length change because of that, because it makes big pulling a lot safer. But yeah, aside from that, I don't know. From the sounds of it, it's not even that they're catering to the lowest common denominator. It's just I don't know what it is. It's just very, very oversimplified. I don't know.
all right. What other job changes here that we should go over quickly?
Bard's finally going to help us again.
Yes, the utility for bards. Are you guys happy that we're starting to bring that back? Because I mean, we had a whole range show recently where that was one of the biggest complaints is that you don't have utility with your ranged anymore.
Yeah.
But only
I
bards
like
get it.
Yeah, we have a Bard in my raid group. I'm happy. he's
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
be
it's
able to
just a
give me
passive.
some
It's just
buffs.
gonna be like a passive thing, right? At least it's
Yeah.
not gonna play differently at all. You just have it now. I think it's fine. I think a lot of bards wanted that back because a lot of people played bards specifically for that kind of utility role.
Yeah, having a support role is good in my opinion. I like having that option,
Right.
support, but I can't get in the heads of the design team. I don't know what they really want from the game.
I think they wanted to do this, and the changes to like Machinist Dancer, because they said they're going to be buffing them, is to kind of get around the fact that people are just not bringing them at all, just to bring like a black mage instead.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta as long as they make the buffs worth it, then
Yeah.
that's the thing. But for Dancer right now, from what I heard, is that it's not bringing the damage overall, the raid damage, to make up for it not hitting as hard.
Yeah, right now, but they're going to buff it. So.
Yeah. So if they can find that balance, it's fine. But like taking it away entirely is such a band-aid. Or,
You know what
I
they
don't-
could do? They could fix this situation completely. Just make the bonus 2% instead of 1% from having every single roll. Don't make the jobs better. Just make it where if you don't, bring a
you don't
job,
have
you're
one.
punished. Yeah. You know, I
Yeah, because
actually,
right now you
ahead.
just bring a black mage instead.
I was thinking about this the other day. It's not ranged in particular, but it's Summoner. I was in a group that limited their casters to not include Summoner
Why?
in a party finder. There was actually a group, and I asked him why. He's like, I just hate them. I can't stand.
That's weird.
Why?
That doesn't make any
the one
sense.
playing it.
Yeah, it's like
That doesn't make any sense.
it was so weird. I don't know if that was just because
It's the same
something
thing
with
as
the
Red
job.
Mage.
Yeah, or if it was just that guy was RPing someone who hated summoners. It was
Maybe.
really strange. I left the group because I was like, I'm not going to wait because you want to exclude one job from
Yeah.
the party finder.
He was staying away from that FF10 guy who was like, stay away from the summoner.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
All right.
party. Yeah, that's party finder people in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Man, I love it though. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'll ever do a static again. I'd rather do party finder or just whoever's logged on. And just make a party out of it. That's so much more fun. Okay, that's.
I think it's
I mean, the thing that we like broke up Frosty's opening for was we were talking about Monk and how Draco's like, Mantra's not that strong.
No,
it doesn't
it's
need to be.
Why are you
It's-
touching? Leave
Yeah.
Monk alone.
Monk is a little too strong.
I like this firepower.
I
on
like
me.
that they're bringing all the other jobs up to Monk's level, man. Because that's
Yeah.
something we brought up in the interview
Yeah.
too. Frosty was
Man, we did such a good job, Tate. Let's just
Didn't
do it
we?
again. Yeah, we're
Oh my
fucking
goodness.
badass. All right, go ahead.
yeah. So like when we had our interview, one of the questions I asked was if what their balancing plan was, if they're going to bring other jobs up or nerf jobs down, and they're proving now that they are actually going through and buffing up the jobs a little bit rather than nerfing everything else.
AKA not nerfing Black Mage.
Yeah, Black Mage will see no changes.
Black Mage is just disgusting.
I think it's good design choice, and I hope they keep up with it.
Black Mage is good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm happy that they seem to be bringing up Red Mage because I've been interested in progging with Red Mage for the reses, just for the fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they do need to stick to, keeping everyone bringing people up, and they just have to bring the fights up. If they really want to nerf people, make the fights a little bit harder, more HP, things like that.
Yeah.
Don't take people down because it's a bad feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
All right.
Why is Dragoon getting power increase, by the way?
Because it has to be up there with Monk.
Why?
What?
Why? It's already up there.
With Monk? It needs a little more to catch up with Monk.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Dragoon raid DPS is pretty high.
Yeah, it has the raid DPS to it, so that's the only reason why I'd say keep it lower. But
I don't get it.
It'll be
The only
improved.
thing I want them to change about Dragoon is Stardiver's animation time, because holy fuck. I clip no matter when I use it. I can literally, it can be the only thing I use and I'll clip it.
Yep. Mhm.
I could just not use GCDs. I'll still clip Stardiver
Yep.
with Stardiver.
It's true. I don't know. I thought Dragoon was in a pretty good spot. So when they said
I think
Dragoon's
Dragoon is in a pretty
firepower-
good spot too. I'm just trying to get in the minds of like why they would buff it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything about Dragoon other than Stardiver's animation.
Yeah. I mean, if they're gonna give it buffs, I'll take it. But
Yeah.
Tight.
Oh man.
Tight.
Go ahead.
I mean, what would you guys say like DPS wise? Because obviously, like there's like this whole disparity between single target DPS and raid DPS. But like for single target DPS, what would you say the highest should be? Because my opinion would be that the highest single target DPS should be Black Mage and then Samurai.
Yeah, I agree with
Yes.
that.
But
I
it's
agree.
not.
Yep.
Right now, it's
'Cause
not that.
Monk has raid damage,
Yeah.
and it's still obnoxiously strong. Like it's still really strong.
And now it doesn't have positional, so it doesn't have that.
Yeah. I love how they took my advice but didn't. Oh man, because Earth's reply is stupid good. It's dumb good. It's ridiculous good. Like
Yeah.
there's no need for it to be that good because you can just pop it at the beginning of a fight because it lasts for 30 damn seconds just to get procced. And then as soon as it happens, it's up for 30 seconds. And then the time that you're waiting for that initial 30 seconds to get procced, you've got 2 stacks of True North to just go through. So 20 seconds there. And then by the time Earth's reply is done, it's back up off cooldown. 0 positionals ever. There's
Yeah.
Monk
there's
is too
no,
good.
there's none.
Just punch them toes, man. Don't move. Just look at the toes and punch them.
You don't have to do anything. Oh man.
All right. Any of these other job changes you guys want to go over real quick before we move on?
Red Mage, the thing with like having 3 stacks of acceleration is really cool. It's gonna make it not only just flexible, but like that's just really cool.
I
Like,
think
you're good. You
no,
can
go ahead.
force a proc whenever you need it.
What were you saying, Tate?
You talked about the stacks. That's something Ninja got with Bunshin to avoid ping issues. Is now Bunshin is not a buff that lasts for a certain amount of time. It's specifically 5 attacks. And I think a lot of jobs could benefit from having something like that replace what they've got right now. Like Blood Weapon, for instance, is a piece of shit. If Blood Weapon just lasted for 5 GCDs flat, I would be very happy.
Okay.
But yeah, just stuff like that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, instead of like a timer, it would be like the. Okay.
I don't think it should affect certain things like Delirium, for instance, because I still think skill speed should have a place in certain builds.
Mm-hmm.
But there are just some skills that really suck to try to.
Because you gotta like
force
use
stuff
it
in.
You mean you gotta use it like halfway through your GCD cooldown, and then that way you could get all of the ones that.
Well,
you
it's
need
because
to
like
get.
Delirium and Blood Spiller both, for instance, you want to fit 5 GCDs in both of them.
Right.
And from what I understand, both of them say they last for 10 seconds, but that's not the case. Blood Spiller lasts significantly shorter than Delirium does, if I remember correctly. So it's really weird. So you just have to be like really good ping or have really high skill speed, and it sucks.
Yeah.
You guys have any thoughts on the healer changes they put in there? One that just stands out a lot to me is improvements on usability for Scholar.
What does
Did
that
they
mean?
Specify that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
What does that
That's the
mean?
notes that I'm looking at right now.
Maybe I'll stop ghosting one of my heals when I pull Seraph out on accident or something like that. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of is sometimes I press too many buttons and my fairy's like, I can't do this. You're going to lose one of them.
Oh yeah,
maybe,
like
maybe the heal will come out faster or something, so it's not ghosted.
what's the one heal called that you have 2 of when Seraph's out?
It's just an AoE heal. I don't know.
Yeah,
What it's
whatever that's called. Like if you use it.
Constellation, something like
Constellation, I think. Yeah, like sometimes that can ghost.
that. Yeah. If I use it anywhere below 3 seconds, it's not coming out.
Right, like Akmor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Asylum's being increased for White Mage, the range.
Why?
I mean, I
already
guess they
huge.
just wanted to make it Sacred Soil size just to match it. I guess.
I actually liked it being smaller as a tank because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I gotta think about how I can not move the boss and get in this bubble and still make it all work. It was like a little dynamic, right? And then it's obviously not the same circle as the Asylum because it's smaller, a little bit more unique and everything.
It's the same thing with Dragoon. It's like White Mage got changes. Why?
Yeah.
It's such a good spot right now. I love White Mage. I love healing on White Mage.
Even when people don't stand in your Asylum.
That drives me up a wall because
There
they'll
you go.
pull the entire room. No, it's just that has nothing to do with the side. It could be the
Well, I
entire
mean,
screen.
Sacred Soil's even bigger, and they still try to stand
Yeah.
up. Man, it doesn't.
Dumb
Even
tanks.
if it's
will just-
bigger.
I had to ask a tank like 3 times in one dungeon. Like, why aren't you standing in the Asylum? You're pulling the entire room.
It's bad.
Why aren't you standing in the Asylum? I don't even see it. Wanted to reach through and choke them.
I'll admit there's times where I don't think about it. I'm just like tanking and I'm like, whatever, I'm going through. And then I see it on the ground. I'm like, well, how long has that been on the ground?
That's
Like,
me.
oh.
Me too. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'm pissing somebody off. I'll admit I've had those situations though.
It's like I try and wait until they're done moving because I completely understand tunneling to like because you're focused on your own stuff. But like I would put it down and then they'd move it because like an AoE and then they just stay out of it. I'm just like, please stop. Don't. Okay. I have to actually pop a buff now. Thanks.
Oh, I have to
work.
stop using that one DPS ability.
Now I have to exert myself. Thank you.
Oh.
Anime transformation. My wings.
They made a lot of changes to Astra, though, it looks like, right? MP consumption for spells will be adjusted to cost less. Potencies have been adjusted as well. Cards will be adjusted so that it reduces the unnecessary steps One
Yeah,
example
there's like
would
an extra
be-
button you don't need to push now.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Like you would have to like change a card into a lord and change a card into a lady, and then you would need to use it. So instead, it's just like you draw the card, and then the button to use it is a lord or a lady already.
Oh, that's really nice. I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
So you don't have to change it and then use it. It's just use it.
I'm gonna say it. That sounds very progressive. I just heard it, and I'm sorry. Like for some reason, it just clicked in my head, and I know,
Mhm.
but that's pretty.
It's like
It's just- it's
Ten
one-
change, except
Yeah.
for Astro.
One button less.
Another button.
Yeah.
I like Ninja. Hello.
But see, that's what I was gonna say. Is like the people who play Ninja and Astro are the people who want to push a lot of buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So if you want to push a lot of buttons, this is making you push less buttons, and I don't know if you like that.
Well, I think it's more intuitive, so I do like
Yeah.
that. If it makes the class flow better, then it's good.
That's true.
Which is something Ninja kind of suffers from right now.
That's
Mhm.
true.
All right.
Remember to stretch, everybody.
Yeah, do your stretch. We still got 2 more hours to go.
What?
What?
I have to pee, dude.
You peed before the show.
Yeah, well, I drink a lot of water.
Okay. All right. You gotta stay hydrated. I got you, dude. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
I have
Oh.
tiny bladder.
Well, all right. We got a couple of things to talk about here. Just a
Okay.
handful of things.
Not 2 hours. Thanks.
And then you can save the rest for dual cast later on.
Okay.
Crafting and gathering. I'm the nope. I am not the person. I am not the person to talk about with crafting and gathering.
Nope.
I know Tate understood it a good bit. Drac a little bit.
Yeah, so I found the translation. I'm not sure exactly what they're going for. My biggest issue with their complaint, I don't know if you can call it a complaint, but they're them saying like we wanted people, or like it seemed like people were having a hard time getting into it, but they make it very difficult to practice your new abilities. At least for like combat jobs, you have a dummy. You have Stone
Yeah.
Sky Sea. You have nothing for crafting. You have to spend blow the bank, get all these like high expensive materials, and then try a rotation, see if it'll work. You have simulation stuff on like third-party websites, but that's a whole other thing that you gotta like know about, then understand how to use it. There is nothing that like so for like the collectible stuff that you have, super easy to craft. Where we're like for the, what do you call them, the special deliveries, where you just buy some basic mats and then you turn them into a collectible. If they had more of those at high level, then it would be, I don't think you'd have as much of an issue, because then people could test out, what does this do? Because it's very risky to go into a craft and be like, all right, I'm going to test some skills out. Whoops, guess I lost all my mats.
Just
Yeah.
RMT and buy more
Custom
money.
deliveries, yeah. So
The
I-
fuck, Drac?
I don't like that they don't make it as it's not
accessible. Is all there
Yes,
is
that's
to
the
it,
word.
yeah.
it's not as accessible as the combat classes. So now they're simplifying it in a certain to a certain extent. Desynth, my issue with it was that you'd need dungeon gear in like Heaven's Word, because there were no crafted gear, or there was nothing else to desynth. So I'm stuck on my desynth because I need to like farm those specific things to get those items, because the next step in crafting was way too high to desynth. So that's my gripe with it. Now it's 100%. I'll have to go back, and I think now I can just take in a job and unsync, because in Stormblood I couldn't. I would die, so I couldn't spell the dungeons. But anyway.
Well, I mean, what I saw from the sidelines is a lot of people are complaining that it's being easier. They're making it easier and everything else. Is that right? They're making it easier?
How do you
they're
know
taking
that?
away a lot of bloat for the skills, it sounds like. And
I
so
don't think that's
they're
making
saying
it easier.
a lot of, so yeah, that's what I was talking about in the chat, that a lot of people are I'm using macros because I don't want to play with high-end materials. So that's why they are taking away a lot of bloat and kind of going forward. So that's the whole thing, is that they're like, people were like, just give me a macro. It's because people don't want to test it on their own. It's very, yeah.
It's okay. Go do what you gotta do. But yeah, no, son of a bitch. No. Oh, is he gonna take it with him? Oh, I thought.
That's why he doesn't actually own a toilet. He has got to fill that up.
Anyways. Yeah, and so is this going to be a system that like someone who doesn't currently craft would be happier with than the previous system?
Hopefully, I would be definitely okay with if they streamlined it, because there are a lot of abilities. Like, so yes, they did do that with some of the combat classes. What would make it easier, if in that same vein or that train of thought, is that if certain abilities automatically upgraded, so that the things that were a thing before just changed or upgraded into something else later.
Is there any use to using old skills?
Things like steady
requirements
hand.
Sometimes.
Yeah, steady hand has been a staple. Buyer guts, great strides, all those things and stuff. But yeah, I'm fine with them making it so that that people don't have to use macros. I'm fine with it being streamlined. But my point is that, and this is to chat, is that they also don't give people the place or anything to test out what these things do. So that, because people will just be like, all right, give me a macro because I don't want to waste these mats. I don't want to figure it out on my own because it's expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm fine with it not being macro reliant. I'm totally okay with that.
I mean, in-game crafting is just like getting the mats and clicking the macro button, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I agree that's not engaging, because I like on-the-fly stuff. But introducing a whole bunch of new actions and stuff, and then expecting people to be like, yeah, just buy this limited mat that you have to grind materials to, like, actually, like, for Gosha tomes and all that stuff. It's a very off-putting to be like, I have to like spend an hour getting enough tomes through dungeons to get these high quality materials, and then Buyer Gut's 100% chance now, which will be very nice, because then you don't have to, it opens up some CP for you, and that's been the biggest focus. So if you're using less CP now, that would be good, because then you can focus more on putting your stats into craftsmanship or control. So having flexibility there would be fine. I'm not against these changes, but I think that they have the power to make it more accessible to people just by giving them the chance to practice it with certain things. Some of their complaints about people like, oh, they're using macros. It's like, you could have done something about that. So,
Tay, you pretty much on board with all that?
Yeah,
you're the only
I mean,
person.
I don't do any high level crafting, but when I do craft, I don't use macros. I don't have any macros at all. So, my ass is over here still using, like, I still do. I don't even know if this is like good at all. But for those who might be familiar with crafting before, is I still do like hasty touch rotation and stuff like that.
That's actually very familiar to how I play PvE,
and I love
Raid.
it. I really enjoy the little hands-on, like, oh shit, this didn't work, I got to use this didn't work, I got to use this, like, sort of thing. I think that's really fun. I think the crafting system in this game, I love how hands-on it is and stuff like that. But obviously there is a lot of bloat, and I'm completely fine with them condensing that, as long as it doesn't make it easier, I guess, which I don't see how it could. We're already ignoring half of the skills anyway, like, just condense them.
Okay.
And they're implying that high-level crafting will still be really intricate and interesting.
Okay.
I wanted to let you guys know that I was listening to you while I was peeing.
Nice.
I learned a lot about crafting.
Probably 10 times more than you knew before.
Yes, I learned a whole lot.
10 times 0 is still 0.
That's true. That is very true.
Well, you knew it existed. That's
craft.
one thing.
Yeah, I think it would help too if they implemented a system where you had a materials inventory, or like something similar to a saddlebag, and you could pull from that. Whereas like your normal inventory, because that's a lot of complaints that I hear for current crafting or gathering, is that your inventory space gets eaten, and people have anxiety attacks when they come in to my stream because they just see my inventory with like 3 open slots. They're like, "Jack, clean it out." I'm like, "I can't. I'm crafting."
Yeah.
So
That's it. Everybody asks me how my inventory is so clean, and I just don't craft. That's why.
I haven't done much
Yep.
with my inventory at all. Like it's been, I have stuff. I probably have tokens from like, I would have to imagine Bismarck tokens in my bag or something somewhere. I haven't been like,
Yeah, dude. My retain. I have 4 retainers because I hoard like all of the gear I've ever gotten from raids and like 24 men and all that stuff. I keep all of it. So because I never know, maybe I'll want to use that glamour someday. So I keep all of it.
I try to sometimes when I do go back and I try to reason with myself, like, do I really need this piece of gear, or can I? How easy would it be to reobtain it?
Go back.
Yeah,
Right.
And then
I
that's
do
my
that too.
storage system is the boss itself.
Mhm.
It's stored there because I just go kill it when I need it.
That's true. I do that too.
But all right. So we stop looking. At least Larry and I looking kind of stupid about crafting and gathering. We'll move on.
I'm not. Well, crafting. What it looked like to me was, I have something to say about
That's
the
okay.
crafting.
No,
I
yeah, it's good.
suppose
Yeah.
would be when I just saw the screenshot and how all of the abilities were deleted. I was just like, oh, so they're gonna make it so you have to program, and like how we always do the crafting macros. I was like, oh, so you'll just program the crafting macros instead of pushing the buttons.
You need a vacation, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's too much in my brain right now, I guess.
Don't worry, I'm with you.
What are they going to do, though, instead of all those buttons? What is it going to be?
I don't know, condensed skills of what we like. Just take all the versions of skills we have right now. We've got like 4 of these and 8 of these. Like, they'll just be one skill.
yeah, because
Okay.
like let me look at it real quick.
Because like for me, like part of the reason why I never got into crafting was because it's kind of overwhelming. So I guess that makes it not overwhelming.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
ever going to be not overwhelming to me. It's just
It'll
always
just
gonna
be a
there.
little more approachable now, because you won't have to suddenly know what 80 skills do. You'll just have to know what 10 skills do.
Yeah, because
Okay.
a similar thing from the combat classes is that as soon as a new expansion came out and you hit max level, all these old skills would be completely useless. You wouldn't need them anymore. So it was a lot of bloat in that system. Whereas if they change certain things, like say like advanced touch, which was just you increase the control for a certain amount of XP, if that changed to a more advanced version of it, or if changed to like prudent touch, or just different branches and stuff like that, where you're not going to ever use these things again. So just here are the most optimal ones to use, because I think that's what they were saying.
Branches, more programming stuff for you, Larry.
Thanks. Yeah, I know all about branches.
Yeah, there were too many skills with similar effects, so we merged a lot and remade them. So yeah, it'll either be something like that, or they just nixed them, and it'll just be more progressive as you level up on what you can do. So we'll see.
I appreciate the fact that this game has a really good crafting situation.
I mean, that's where I am, absolutely. Like, I appreciate that it exists, but I won't partake in it because I just
want them to reduce the amount of mats needed for Weaver. Oh my gosh,
dude,
it's rough.
The one thing that will make me level crafters is if they allow you, like the Korean version, is if they allow you to equip the crafter gatherer glamours on battle classes. Then I will do it.
They've got some good glamours, man.
They do. So that will make me do it.
Okay. All right. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about the other thing that's going with crafting and gathering, which is the whole giant mode kind of competitive thing?
Their ultimate.
Back to discard. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be spending a lot of time on that for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's coming out this. When's it coming out? Is it 0.15 or 0.12?
I think so. 0.15, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
1-1.
1-1.
Oh.
So it's
Cool.
it's gonna be
with ultimate.
It's gonna be with ultimate. So no, I'm not fucking with it for a while.
Like a month after.
This is pretty funny. Like
it'll be with ultimate. Yeah.
It's sad because I kind of see it the same way from like a lot of people would joke about like seeing PvP stuff and like, oh, content I'll never touch. I see this whole big thing, and it's like, oh look, content I'll never touch.
Me too.
It looks
Well,
cool.
Will
It's
fishing work?
I think
Can I
so
fish?
because they will have a gather part of it, I believe.
If I can fish.
There'll be rankings in 5.2. What I'm kind of looking forward to is that I really liked how Mordona grew over time and how Idleshire grew. So seeing it's actually just a bigger version of what they did with the Mughals and how they restored that plaza. So we're restoring the city. That'll be really cool, I think, to kind of see that part of the game.
And creating a housing district, I think, is the eventual goal.
Oh, that would be nice for a lot of people.
Looks like it.
Get the hell out of
picture,
Yeah, we're building a housing ward, hands down.
yeah, the picture looked like a housing district.
Mm-hmm.
So
They were increasing plots too
Yeah.
for free companies. Not involved with all this, but they're going to do that, and then they'll release it to other people later on, which I guess is a good idea.
yeah,
Is
They've
that
done
on
that before,
5.1 or later?
they have. Yeah, they've done that
I
before.
can't remember which patch they were going to do that on. I think they were going to do it at later on, so people weren't rushing to it.
Yeah.
I don't. There's something weird about it. Like I haven't thought about it in a while. I haven't been in my house in so long.
If they can fix Titan, that would be fun.
Oh yeah, well they said they're going to bring a new
said it's gonna
gatherer
be part of it.
instance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's kind of interesting. Unless I don't know if they're gonna make you kill stuff in it, or if it's just gonna be straight gathering.
I think they said it's going to be straight gathering. Like they're
It
just
should
making a gathering island.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really, like, I don't know. It would be interesting to see if they can make it engaging
Mhm.
on that. Or if you have to do certain things to, like, as a group, you have to remove this obstacle to get into the rare stuff.
You guys all have to come and pickaxe at the wall to get past it. Yeah, no, I got you.
Or if you have to get, like, a certain amount of, like, high quality hits or whatever to do it.
Mhm.
Just, I don't know. It would be neat.
You
be
see little crits pop up of. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I don't think so, but
Oh god.
dude.
um,
Crafting is less enticing to me than farming for like a pony for hours.
yeah.
I'm the opposite because I hate doing the same fight over and over.
I like money.
Yeah, I do too. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't like doing the same fight over and over, so it's that enticing to me.
I mean, you're also getting Beast Tribe stuff, which ties into crafting and gathering usually too, right?
At some point. I don't know if it'll do it yet.
Yeah,
But I think the new Mo will be the crafting one. Right now we're
That's
getting
what I'm thinking too, yeah.
one of them.
Well, you're getting the Beast Tribe is going to be its own whole solo zone now, so
That's cool. Yeah.
I guess it
Wait,
makes
what about-
sense.
I heard that it's only going to be solo instance up until you finish it, and then you can see other people in it, is what somebody said.
Really?
I don't know how accurate that is, because apparently as we go through, it's going to get more and more. Like there's going to be more stuff.
Yeah, because it's looked really from the screenshots I'm seeing. There's tons of
Barren.
like, yeah,
It's like Disney
barren.
World.
Oh, it's very colorful, but yeah, there's no one there. There's I don't know what it's supposed to really be. Like, how big is it supposed to be? Is it like a whole city, or is it like a little tiny area that you zone into that has a couple of bridges?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Slide.
I think for the
Swing
beast
that you can
tribes
swing on.
that could be a crafting would be the Lalafell, the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
That could be the
Mm,
crafting one.
Right.
I thought we were getting the dwarfs immediately. That's what confused me. I thought we were getting those.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like the
I
first
thought so
one.
too.
Don't know. No idea.
We're kind of getting to this point to where it's just like kind of a mixed. See, we talked about all these things that we really, really cared about. We were all excited for it, and we're edging off on these things. They're like, okay, they're nice little additions. I guess we'll see how it works out.
Yeah. I do think they give a lot more time to crafting and gathering and stuff. It's probably on the same level of Ultimate for a lot of people, where it's a niche community that they want to make it good for, but you have to have the right group to actually talk about it passionately.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess
What
so.
what I wish that we did hear about though for this live letter, and I guess for the patch itself, was Relic, because in Heavensward we got Relic in the 0.1
Yeah.
is when we started getting Relic again. And Heavensward, I mean, A Realm Reborn, we also got 0.1. But since Stormblood, I don't think the Stormblood Relic started in 0.1. I think it was 0.2. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, it's because Eureka got delayed, didn't it?
Right, to 0.2, right?
And we don't know what the hell they're doing with Relic at all. They haven't talked about it a single bit, have
Exactly.
they? Like, we have no
Exactly, yeah.
clue.
And Relic is huge, at least like for me,
Well,
and I
no.
would feel like for most people, it's pretty
Mm.
big.
A Realm Reborn Relic was out immediately, I think. I think it was like in 2.0. But yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, like the Zenith step.
Mhm.
And then 0.1 it was Atma.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, like for Stormblood, it didn't have a 0.1. It started in 0.2, Eureka. So I'm guessing maybe Relic will start in 0.2 for this expansion as well, I guess. That's
Yeah,
just
I'm
kind of
really
a little
surprised they haven't
letdown.
gone into it at all.
Yeah,
this
little
kind
bit
of
of a
brings up
letdown.
a good point. There's so much shit that Square Enix has worked on for Final Fantasy 14 that they've been kind of bringing back in and bringing back in. We don't know exactly what they're going to bring back in and what they're going to leave off. Relic, actually, they're probably going to bring back in, but there's all these little things
I hope so.
like because they spread themselves out so much with all this content. You got Blue Mage, you got Palace of the Dead, you got Gold Saucer, you have, which has tons of little things
Ultimate.
of it. Yeah, you have Ultimate, you have Crafting Island, Pixie Island, all these other things that they just have to implement. Like, I feel like we're hitting this content bloat that's getting a little bit hard to manage.
They need to do what they did with 15 and start stealing people from other teams and just bring them into the 14 to help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like
14 is the one that's actually profitable.
or just
to
reduce the
me-
scope. I mean,
to me, Relic is the thing that entices the whole general populace of the game
Mhm.
and keeps them playing a lot.
Mhm.
So the fact that they haven't prioritized adding Relic into the 0.1 patch and instead think that it's okay to put it into the 0.2 patch is a little worrisome, just because I really think that they should prioritize having it in every patch.
yeah. Because I mean, it's just something
it's
on the
so
side
important.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's filler.
But there's
It's a
so much
filler thing.
filler. There's so much filler.
I disagree though. I think Relic is like more long-term filler. Whereas
That's what
like
I mean.
24 man is just you do it once a week. Ultimate is you do it and you're done. And Ultimate's not for everyone. Relic is for everyone.
Right. That's what I mean. Like it's probably the most important side content is Relic.
Mm.
So I don't see why they would be like, okay, yeah, let's do it in 0.2. Because
Yeah.
in Stormblood, that's what they did. And so it looks like that's what they're doing now too.
Okay.
Well, like we knew about it beforehand when it was 0.2 before, because they talked about it. They were like, yeah, it's going to be part of this and it's delayed and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like we knew, but again, it's just we don't know what the hell they're
We don't
doing.
know anything.
I guess they just like they're like, oh, we already set the expectations last expansion. We don't got to worry about it. They know.
Well, I mean, there's so much stuff coming out right now that there's so much other things people are interested in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the raids are good this time around. Ultimate's coming out. The 24 man is extremely hyped.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Everybody's enjoying the game right now.
So I
It's a
guess
good
this is a
time.
good question to ask before we get into viewer questions, which we'll get into here in a second. And we can talk about other things too. It doesn't have to be just solo viewer questions. If there's more topics you want to talk about, we can. With this expansion, like, what is the content you guys are going to do? Not expansion, patch. For this patch, like, so for me, it's PvP. It's going to be trying Ultimate, Hades, and the Alliance. And then the main story quest, of course. We haven't talked about his story quest at all, but that's okay. Those things are going to be my big focus for the rest of the next 3 months until the next patch comes out. Is a Primal, the Ultimate, and the Alliance is only going to last for so long, so not really. So PvP and the Ultimate are going to be the two things that last for the next 3 months for me. You guys, what boat are you in with this?
I'll be doing the 24 man and then farming Hades for a bit.
Uh-huh.
And now that we actually have the time, I wouldn't mind giving a little bit of effort towards the Ultimate. Because before it's just been like, when are we gonna get the extra nights for it? Like, when are we gonna actually have the time to get decent prog on it? So I'd be willing to give it a probationary try, and then go back into crafting once that releases.
It's also whether or not everybody in the group actually wants to do Ultimate, because it's definitely out of the scope of some people that even want to try it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Larry?
I mean, for me, the 24-man has always ever been go into the 24-man, just roll on whatever the hell drops so that I could be done for the week. But because it's Nier and I'm such a Nier fanboy, I'm just going to do it anyway. Probably even if I have the drop for the week, I'm probably just going to run it. But of course, that will only last for so long. But I will probably almost always be doing the 24-man, at least weekly. The ultimate is something that maybe if I don't do right away, maybe I'll do later. You know, because I just like having the ultimate there, so I might end up doing it at some point. Hades is definitely a big thing for me. I'm a very big fan of particularly the extreme primals because it's stuff I could just pug.
Right.
So I really like those. And just farming extreme primals. So I'm very excited for that in particular. And then the PvP is something that me and my friends do on raid nights when people don't show up. So I'm excited for that too.
Okay.
That's how we fill our
well,
time.
into your 2 groups now.
Now we have to split into 2 groups, which is stupid. Maybe one of us adds up on adders and one adds up on Maelstrom.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Tate, your big focus going into this patch.
Well, Ultimate doesn't release immediately, so I'll have time to fuck around. I know when the patch goes live, I'm gonna do 24-man pretty much immediately. And then that night we're going into Hades, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, we'll be doing that night.
Yeah, Tate and I can't run the 24-man together anymore.
You know, because we just make the same video.
The video's a Spider-Man meme. Hey, the same thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
But in between that, I'll do whatever MSQ comes out, and then when Ultimate hits,
that's it.
I've got my plan set there.
Do you have a group already put together?
Yeah, I'm gonna be running with Pharaoh and Zeno is in the group as well. It's gonna be a good time.
That's gonna be a pretty intense group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be having to track you guys too.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're gonna go ham. I think we've all scheduled 2 weeks, upwards of 16 hours a day. It's gonna be a good time.
Jesus Christ. That's hardcore Ultimate, man. This is the first time in like. Go ahead.
Is it on your Aether character then? Is it Zeno?
No, he's transferring.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Man, yeah. And so this is the first. Again, this is important to say. This is the first Ultimate in close to 17, 18 months.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
And it doesn't feel like it's been that long when I think about it. Holy crap, why'd you have to point that out?
I'm just saying, this is like a huge deal for like the hardcore rating community because it's been so long since they had content they're like excited, really excited for. So
yeah. Dude, there are people that are going into the Ultimate now that didn't do Alexander. Does that make you feel old?
I think it's incredible. I think it's incredible that so many people started playing within the last month or two.
Yeah.
Like the player boom was absolutely insane. And I've been meeting a lot of people who just recently started playing and they're in love with the game and it's great.
Yeah.
And they don't have any clue about any of this stuff coming. They're like, what? From like last expansions, we keep talking about all this stuff and they're like, I have no clue. This is a whole new world. And so it's, I don't think about that too much, but I guess there's possibly some people watching the show right now who barely have any clue about what we're talking about because we keep referencing these things from years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about, honestly. It's weird.
It's cool. I like it. It's always good to get like new blood in the game.
So questions, guys, if you have any questions, click on that link, send it in. We might not have too many questions just because we've talked about a lot of stuff and we covered a whole bunch of stuff. But if you have anything you want to know about what their color their poop looks like or something, go ahead and put that in there and then we'll ask him here on the show.
That is the strangest thing to put as a suggestion.
I was trying to find something weird, and
Well, maybe not with Tate here. Maybe.
I mean that's what inspired it. You know, when he comes on talking about poop, for some reason it just seems right and natural. So, you guys feel free to ask any questions at all, and we'll go into it. I don't have a giveaway that I'll be shipping, but I will be doing a global giveaway for you guys today, which is going to be your basic giveaway for Mog Station. Basically, whoever wins this, up to about like a $25 amount value, somewhere in there. If you win, then you can tell me what you want, and I will purchase that and give you the code for it.
I'm gonna enter.
Yeah, anyone can enter. You guys can enter. I don't care. It's whatever you guys want to do. So it's going to be a very basic one. I'm a little bit behind with getting the community giveaways going and everything else. We do have some cool stuff coming up for some of the job shows happening and other stuff. But in the meantime, we will have these kind of filler giveaways, which is your basic Mog Station giveaways.
Mog stock.
Yeah, I have no advertisement because I told you know what? Should I press the ad button? No, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to interrupt you. But no advertisement for today either. So thank you everybody who supported it and helps with these giveaways. We do have one question that popped in. To fix the healer tank issue, should SE nerf tank cooldowns? Why is I'm bored tanking a valid excuse for tanks ruining the experience of the rest of the dungeons? Wait a minute. So to fix the tank healer issue, should Square Enix nerf tank cooldowns and make them harder?
No.
Okay. No. Why is I'm bored tanking a valid excuse to ruin the... Okay, so they're I think they might be upset that like people
About
are
the
complaining
cooldown.
tanking is too easy, and so they should be
Dungeon
nerfed.
tanking is not what we're complaining about. We don't give a shit about dungeon tanking. It can be as easy as it wants to be. We're complaining about raids. We don't want tanks to have less cooldowns or less powerful cooldowns. We want the raids to hit harder and hit more to give us a reason to use them and spread them out and think about them.
More
I don't give a
engaging.
shit about dungeons.
Here we go.
Having just a tank
Go
and
ahead.
spank isn't engaging either.
Yeah.
Like having more interesting mechanics for tanks to do, rather than here's a tank buster. All right, don't die.
I think they're talking about the fact that adding buffing tank cooldowns is an excuse for like healers not healing enough or something, which is not good either, because it just makes them heal less than they already need to.
Yeah. All
It's
right.
just not engaging. That's it. Yeah.
Here's a happy question. What mechanic are y'all most... y'all, I said y'all, and I almost went to stop
Y'all.
myself. What mechanic are y'all most excited for in Ultimate? Here we go. There we go.
That's very interesting.
Gavel.
What was Gavel? I
Starboard
didn't do
larboard.
Midas.
It was a lot, dude.
Could you explain it? I think I know. I remember that was an A8S, right? Gavel?
Yeah, it was Brute Justice. I want to see the intermissions too. I really want to see him split apart and do intermissions. Gavel was pretty cool.
It was those squares?
One of the things, yeah, it had a bunch of like different panels doing different things. One tank had to have high HP, one tank had to have low HP, and all this crazy shit. Depending on what debuff, you had to do this specific thing. It was pretty fucking cool.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
I've seen Gavel because I farmed A8S for glamour. But obviously you don't do Gavel the real way. I just saw it. So I knew it was those square things that were showing.
Yeah.
I mean, the only Gordius stuff that I really did for like on time content was I did all of Gordius, A3S and A4S, and I did Alexander Creator also. I didn't do Midas. So out of all of those, my favorite mechanic was probably the entirety of Pepsi Man, honestly.
The entirety of the mechanic was the fight.
The
Okay.
entirety of Pepsi Man. Like the really cool part of Pepsi Man that really stood out to me was the tank mechanics, where the tanks had to there was a part where Pepsi Man would split into two hands, and the tanks would either need to bring them apart or bring them
clap
together.
Yeah.
Like you would make them high five, or you would make them have to spread apart.
Yeah.
So like that kind of mechanic I thought was really cool. And then there was another mechanic where a hand would spawn and somebody would be over here, and the hand would slowly approach them, and you would have to kill it before it reached them. I thought was a really fun mechanic as well. And you would have to.
I
take
miss
turns.
DPS checks.
Yes, DPS checks like that are really cool. Like somebody's frozen and it's like, oh shit, we have to save them before this hand reaches them to kill them. And so you would take turns stunning it to hold it in place so you could kill
Oh
it.
yeah.
I remember that now.
Stuns being useful in raids too, man. Yeah, they've
was
removed
so good.
much.
Yeah,
That was
silences and
Yeah, the first time that happened, I think was in turn
like
5.
in what was it? Oh yeah, with the dreadnoughts or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Dread Knights.
Yeah.
I really liked in what was it, Brawler? In one of those where the orbs were slowly going towards the center and you'd have to stun it to make them explode at different times so that they didn't wipe your raid when they both blew up at once. I loved that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That's
They
kind of
don't do that
reminiscent of
anymore.
like T8 where you make the towers go off whenever you want them to go off.
I'm
Stuff
trying to
like
think.
that.
I'm really trying to think about these fights. Drak, I know you didn't have a ton of exposure to him, but can you think of anything that stands out that you're hoping that this ultimate might have?
I liked the trickiness of like starboard larboard and not blowing up the things that held up the platform. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
I was very
yeah.
experienced with that. Yeah.
So that was like, I remember that when we cleared A11, that was, we were like barely, like it had like a sliver of health when we cleared it, or it was like just barely clipped and it killed the group in like a 5% or something like that. It was that was something like, I like environmental stuff like that. So I hope they keep doing stuff more.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I hope they incorporate Tycoon stuff with his lasers that freeze. I hope we get that, plus like the whole, I don't remember what A12's mechanic was called. The big one that you had to get in
Inception or in
something like that.
Yeah.
It was Hello World. Hello World did it, except not
They're
for
Hello World.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I can't remember the fucking name of it.
They
gave all
teleported
the
you to a
debuffs
different
everybody.
area. That's right. People had to go into like the little thing and go into a different area.
The ad phase, the
Yeah.
DPS check. Inception, temporal stasis. Yeah. The whole temporal stasis thing. I want that, like, plus the Tycoon's AoEs coming out in certain locations, so you have to figure out where the safe spots are really quickly.
Yeah. So
That'd be
yeah,
really cool.
time stuff. They should throw that in there. Absolutely, there better be a lot of time mechanics in there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
dude.
I just think Tycoon's AoEs are cool, and I want those.
You know, A4S where it would grab 2 people and send and suck them up the pipe to kill the ad.
Yeah. That's
That
what we're
kind of
talking about.
shit.
Yeah.
One thing that I've also seen a lot on Twitter is how the whole theme of time, where you do certain mechanics a certain way, kind of like how Uwu worked, and you get through a certain part of the fight, and then that it sends you back in time, and you have to save yourself from doing the mechanics a certain way.
I love that.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be super cool.
What if it hit you with some like Undertale shit, like loading your save, like you're running to a mechanic, and then snap you right back where you were running at the start, and you got to be like, where do I go?
They could do
No
so
way
much
that could never work in Final Fantasy 14, but still, it's fun to imagine that kind of thing.
Just cool time related mechanics would be really, really, really cool.
Thank you for the better question to kind of redeem some stuff here. So much editing today.
What if Alexander was white?
Stop.
All right, here's the giveaway, guys. Type in MogTalk Station, not Mog Station, not MogTalk, MogTalk Station in chat, and then MogTalk Station.
All one word.
All one word. All lowercase. All one word.
MogTalk Station.
If you guys type that in, you guys will be entered in a giveaway for one thing up to $25 from the Mog Station, and I'll work with you after the show. And there's some cool stuff. There's the cloud, the golden cloud that everybody talks about. R. Kelly with that for some reason, and
I saw a really good Goku cosplayer the other day riding around on that.
Oh, really?
In the game?
Yeah.
Ooh.
He was like an Aura with the big spiky hair.
And then there's little ghost minions that are out now too. There's a lot of Halloween stuff out, actually.
Do you guys ever like watch a particular anime and then all of a sudden get so inspired to play a certain job because of the character that you saw in the anime? Because I totally do that.
I watched an anime and wanted to make a game based off the anime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get inspired to animate. It's just different things, I guess.
Yeah, we're weebs, I guess.
Here's another
Yeah.
question. Are we getting Cruise Chaser mount from Alex Ultimate?
Yes.
That'd be cool.
I really fucking want them to add mounts to Ultimate so bad. I want that more than anything in this game.
Dude, the Twintania mount should have been from Ukab.
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't have been that recruit a friend thing.
Yeah, not recruit a friend. Should have been from Ukab.
I have it.
Yeah.
I got it too. Yeah.
You don't deserve it. Should have cleared Ukab.
Didn't it come out before you got?
Legendary.
What do you guys think is the title gonna be from Alexander?
The Epic Legend? I mean, what else is it going to be?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Freaking epic.
So that means that if they always play off of Legend and they just call it a
I
different
want
name,
like Hero of Time or something would be fucking awesome.
dude,
Who
I
gets
would have
sued?
to do it for that.
They get sued, yeah. Nintendo would come banging on the door immediately.
Yeah,
Nintendo's like, excuse you.
because if it's always the Legend, then just
I
clearing
hope it's
Ukab.
not.
Yeah, I hope it's not too. But then if it is though, like just a word like adjective and then the Legend, I would just be like, I'm cool with just clearing Ukab.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I just got the Legend. Yeah.
It's kind of tacky. If they made it like the epic, like I'd wear that just for the memes.
The epic gamer, the epic Tate
Oh,
Velocity.
that would be funny if they did do the Epic Gamer.
Yeah, the epic gamer.
That's me, dude. I'm epic.
The only true way to become an epic gamer is clear Alexander Ultimate.
I like that goblin style name. Try hard time sinks. That could be the title.
All right, let's see. Sorry. Some of these questions I'm gonna post.
Just ask them.
No,
I don't care. Just ask them.
Tate, I'm gonna post this question in chat, and you can tell me if you want me to ask that question or not.
Oh, these are weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's a little bit weird.
Okay. Somebody, I don't know why they said lick. That's weird. The other day I was streaming and I went to go take some allergy medicine and I dropped it everywhere. And there were pills all over the place. And immediately my cat comes running the fuck over. Like, these are candies for me. So I had to like beat my cat away while I'm trying to pick up tiny pills out of the fucking
Wanna
carpet.
eat the pill?
So now somebody's asking if I licked my medicine off my cat.
Oh no!
What the fuck? No, he didn't eat any, by the way, just so you know.
Okay.
What?
Very curious and very
Is it
excited.
allergy medicine?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna
Fucking
tell
freak.
you. Yeah, I don't know.
Weird question.
So all right, there you go.
You got a lot of my viewers today, I think.
I
is the
think
problem.
so. I think so. Mog Station, if you guys MogTalk Station, type that in chat one last time. We'll ask one or two more questions before we do the giveaway. Again, up to $25 Mog Station item from Mog Station, of course. And let's see if I can find another question here.
Yeah, my viewers are only civilized. They're so smart and intelligent and the most smart people ever. They'll
Good.
never ask a dumb question.
Good. I'm glad they came
Right.
today. Yeah. Hold on, let me read it. All right, so our weapon's going to drop from the 24-man Nier. I saw a screenshot of a gunbreaker with a samurai sword, and now I'm confused. I believe I have information for this before. Maybe you guys remember them saying stuff about it. Weapons and 24-man.
Well, if my information is correct, Yoshi P said specifically, we don't want to spoil anything about the Nier raid, but whatever you're hoping for, that's gonna drop. So I'm hoping for a lot of things, Yoshi P. That's a very dangerous thing to say. One of those things is weapons.
Yeah.
What's that one skimpy outfit that everybody mods into the game anyway?
The kinase.
lingerie. Yeah.
Yeah, kinase gear.
Just put that into the game. Don't be cowards. Come on.
You'll meet her when you play Nier.
Mhm.
Wait, Tato, are you gonna play that like soon or?
Maybe if I can find the time for it. I'm really busy right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you do, I want to check it out.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I want to keep with these questions, but I think we might be good today. We might be good. All right,
I want to know.
All right, here's the question. If you were a weapon, what would it be?
What?
I'd be the dildo bat from Saints Row.
Dildo bat. Okay, all right. That's a
Is
good
a
one.
head dong a weapon? Like a summoner dong? Is that a
Sure.
weapon?
Yeah,
Can headbutt people?
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
I'd be that.
All right. Drac.
Honed Nippon steel. I don't know. Just a meme.
How do you answer that, man?
Yeah.
I'd be a swift fart that knocks my enemies out.
I'd be a sock, a very dull and boring sock that would be just mildly irritating, and you're just like, what the fuck?
I'd be a
wool
3-year-old in the morning.
A 3-year-old
Wake up,
woman.
daddy!
Oh,
Boom!
fuck.
Yeah, I need me a freak like that. Just call me daddy and then elbow drop me.
All right.
My 10-month-old will just be like, "Why does daddy have nipples?" Yank. I'm up.
Oh my god.
I know what kid.
Do these have milk in them?
Their nails just. I was like, "Ooh, child."
I'm
Uh,
hungry.
They're all yours, man. I don't want them.
all right. Whoa. All right. I did the giveaway, guys. We got a winner. I actually think I recognize this name. So that's
Is it
good.
Larry?
It's not. It's
Rigged.
not Larry.
Rigged.
It's
You're a
Gin
rigged
Tackle.
streamer. Nope.
Gin Tackle. You have won the $25 giveaway here.
Rigged streamer.
Rigged. Absolutely rigged. Congratulations, Chin.
Congrats.
I'll get with you after the stream. And we'll talk about it. And we'll get it set up for you.
I'm upset. Honestly, rigged.
It's all right, dude.
This motherfucker's over here talking like you can't just buy a Mog Station item and write it off its taxes.
You know, I haven't yet.
You're right.
Well, Larry, yeah, he got
percent off, baby.
Yeah. Larry, here's a question for you. Would Eggy Glamour sate your wants for summoner changes, or are you wanting more primal summons?
I asked
Problems with
Yoshi
glamour,
P
right?
this specifically. I met Yoshi P in person and I asked him about Eggy Glamours. And I was like, hello, Mr. Yoshi P. I love you. Is the reason why we're getting so many demi summons? Is that the reason why we haven't seen Eggy Glamours yet? And he was just like, first of all, they have nothing to do with each other. And I was just like, fuck. I didn't mean it like that, Mr. Yoshi P.
Why are you such a horrible person, Larry? Why did we invite you?
So I felt he made me feel bad. I was like, I didn't mean it like that. I want Eggy Glamours.
Right.
It's been promised to me since Heavensward, dude. What the fuck, man?
You're the bad guy, not me.
Yeah, I'm just playing the game, dude.
All right.
First of all, how dare you speak to me?
That's what he said.
Oh, I did not have that experience at all. It was actually very positive and good. I guess we're just better people, right, Tate?
Yeah, Yoshi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me.
YouTube comment says we had the best interview, so obviously, you know.
Obviously, yeah.
Fuck.
YouTube's right, like every single time. Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
if YouTube is always right, I'm a terrible person.
I'm literally the worst.
You're also dead.
Yeah,
I'm dead too. Yeah, YouTube says, wait. I would recommend Larryzaur, but he's dead.
yeah, I would, but his mother shouldn't have had him. You know.
Reddit tells me that I'm unsettling, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's settling.
I think the most recurring thing that I get is the punchable face thing, and I guess that's just something that.
You're the kissable face.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd make out with you in a heartbeat.
Absolutely, I'd suck your penis. No,
I mean,
like-
you know, we got like a month before we all in the same hotel with each other, so. Not a month, a year.
Wait, I was gonna say a month. What? You're coming to my wedding?
I started.
No,
panicking.
no,
Did I miss something?
It's like, what do you mean in a month?
No, in a year here.
Okay.
But that, because I mean, FanFest is really considering it. We're already halfway to FanFest, basically.
Yeah.
Stop. That holy
Oh, I've
fuck.
only got to drop 90 more pounds. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys one last question here to finish up the show. And it is basically simple, straightforward. After the live letter, after everything, are you guys more excited than you were before it all, or just as excited, or less excited?
I'm more excited.
Yeah?
hmm
Okay.
The same.
The same?
Same.
Fuck
The same.
Fuck you guys.
Because I'm already super hyped because of Nier, so I'm just like already super excited. So the live letter was just, okay, Nier's coming. I'm like, okay, I'm already excited for Nier.
Already, it doesn't matter. You can just put Nier. You can enter the
Just say
dungeon.
Nier.
You have 2B there. All right, you're done. Alliance over. Best
Yeah.
alliance ever, right? No.
Yes. Just Nier.
Everything is
I'm good.
awesome.
I will say though, if Nier, if it references it, even if it slightly like 0.01% references the first Nier game, I will be over the moon. Like I will be ridiculously excited about that.
I'm going to say I'm less excited, but I'm still excited for it, but less excited because they didn't give us details enough on PvP. That's really it.
Yeah, all right, Frosty.
But that's
Whatever,
it's just a
Frosty.
something because I was expecting something, right?
Whatever.
I think
Frosty.
everybody was, honestly. I think it was a pretty big letdown.
Yeah, and so that let me down. I mean, I knew there was going to. I was pretty confident there was going to be Alexander Ultimate. I was pretty confident it's going to look good. It's probably going to be good. Same thing with Hades. Same thing with Nier. I knew what's going on with that. Although maybe I'll appreciate it more. I don't know.
My thing is I'm just over emotional, and when I see things confirmed and it gets closer, I just get more and more excited.
It's true.
I'm just a loud motherfucker everywhere, so.
Frosty.
Okay.
Frosty, are you gonna play Nier? Did you decide?
Yeah, maybe.
If you play it, would you stream it?
All right, so I'm in a situation right now where every once in a while my wife Kerr has to go out of town and work and everything. And when that happens, I get kind of in this whole mood of I'm lonely as shit and I have extra time that I would normally spend with my wife, but she's overworking, and then I stream more. So it's absolutely within the cards, especially since I cleared E4S yesterday. That I don't have as much stuff to go for within Final Fantasy that I might try
This
again.
is his wife. That's kind of
All
gay.
right, dude. If you stream it, let Twitter know, I suppose, because I would love to watch you play Nier.
I put it on my Steam wish list, so if it's on sale, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to buy it off of sale, which it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I mean, if
I'll
it's
buy
as
it
good
for
of
you. I don't care. Just play it.
okay, I'll buy it because you said you'd buy it for me.
Okay.
And now you have to avoid the feel like you owing him.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if it's as good of a game as you guys make it out to be, like, see, here's the thing. Neon Genesis, it was such a big letdown for me because everybody was like, you should watch this.
Well, why do you keep bringing up Neon Genesis?
Yeah.
Because it was
that has
recent. I
nothing
just
to
watched
do.
it. I just watched it, right? It was something that I was looking forward to, that everyone was like, this is really good.
So it's like it's another critically acclaimed thing.
It's a critically
Okay,
acclaimed. And
no,
so like
no,
I lost trust
no.
in a lot of opinions because
No.
it wasn't
Frosty. I'm gonna stop you.
Okay.
I asked you specifically, and you were like, when you play a single player game, the thing you care about most is the story.
It is.
So you will like Nier.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
If I don't like it, it's your fault.
Okay. I
If you
will
buy
I will
it
take that.
and you don't like it, Larry can just pay you for it.
Yes. If you don't like it, money back guarantee.
You give me
Frosty.
a money back guarantee. All
Yes.
right.
If you do
All
not
right.
like it, I will give you $40.
Okay. We'll see how that works out. But yes, then I will play it. I have it comes out in 2 weeks from now, right? The
You got time.
patch.
Like 10 days, yeah.
You got it.
Actually, yeah, it's less than 2 weeks. A little bit less than 2 weeks now, but
29th,
Yeah.
right?
I could probably play it with next week. So yeah, sure. I'll see if I can get. No, I should be able to. I'll play it nights next week.
Yeah.
All right.
20
Hell yeah,
hours.
brother.
There you go. We'll see it happen. All right. Any last thoughts? Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap up the show?
I love you.
I love you.
Smooch smooch.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna make you guys all do shout outs and tell everybody who you are, where they find you, and anything else that you want to do. And so we're gonna start clockwise. I'm gonna start with Larry. Larry, do it.
Hi, I'm Larry. You could find me on Larryzaur on everything because I'm consistent. Larryzaur, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter.
Okay.
I meme and stuff. That's me.
Man, you suck at advertising for yourself, dude. I gotta say it, man. You just
I don't
do.
care.
All right. All right. Drac.
Drac Games Thing on YouTube. Otherwise, everything is the name down below my face right now. Drakanous at Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff. Yeah, we stream our raids every Tuesday, and then we might be streaming on Fridays again if we do Hades and all that stuff. Maybe some Ultimate. We'll see what's going on.
Okay.
Ultimate wiggly face.
Okay. Tate.
I'm GoldenTot everywhere. Again, the name down below my name. Move on, please.
Cast.
Like I said at the start, I do YouTube videos. I stream all that good stuff.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
It's good.
GoldenTot.
If you guys aren't following these people or watching them in some way, you're probably out of loop somewhere. You should be watching them. They all produce really good content. They all stream. Larry every once in a while streams.
Once in a while.
Yeah, when he's not dead.
Yeah.
When I'm not dead.
They're awesome people. I've had the pleasure of meeting them and talking to them and hugging them. And I hope you guys are envious because of it. That being said as well, I want to make sure we plug it because there's no reason not to. You guys have a podcast that you just started up where you guys are in the same room with each other.
This room.
Yeah.
Yep,
The one Larry's in.
Yeah.
It's called Dualcast and it's every Thursday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, sorry.
5 p.m.
5
When are you
p.m.
guys flying me out to be on it?
Yeah, when are you flying Tate out?
Come on, man.
I guess we got to get like a whole business set up so we could fly people out, huh?
I'm working on
Yeah,
it.
dude.
I'm working on it. Getting the LLC going.
Yeah, I need to get one going eventually.
Yeah, it is a Dualcast show.
Yeah.
The show's called Dualcast, but the Dualcast was taken. So Dualcast show on Twitter.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. We're on Spotify and I'm getting them uploaded on iTunes as well. So keep an eye out for those.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's on YouTube, Dualcast Show. We uploaded the VOD of our very first, totally not the second podcast there.
Nice.
We didn't record the first.
Yeah, I saw that tweet and I was like, oh,
The
typical.
last episode.
Typical.
Oops.
It's okay. I have a couple lost episodes. But all right, everybody, thank you so much for coming out and watching. This is the first time I was able to get 3 of these wonderful people on the show at the exact same time, and I was pretty excited for it. And the only sad part about you guys doing Dualcast is like now I don't want to pull you for shows because you already are going to have a show, and I don't want to be redundant it, so I have to bring you guys on for more particular
anytime.
topics.
We'll never be out of stuff to talk about. Trust me. We'll be
Anytime.
totally fine.
Okay. Then next week we'll have a show with them. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, thank you guys for coming on. You've been a blast. It's always fun hanging out with everyone here. And thank you, all the viewers, everyone who came to watch the show. Thank you, everybody watching this on YouTube or listening to it on wherever you receive your podcast, audio-only podcast. Let's see. Thank you, Carrara, for being my wife and wonderful emotional support. Thank you. I have to thank her for being my wife, right? Thank you. Blizzana for the artwork on the show. And thank you, Andre Kane, for the music that I use in the ending and the closing here. Next week, we are doing a show that's going to be completely, maybe like not on the top of everybody's mind, but something I wanted to do personally. I'm bringing on 2 people from the Australian, New Zealand atmosphere to talk about their experience playing Final Fantasy XIV and involvement in the game, which is Ethis Asher and Hilmi Harry.
I love both of them.
Yeah, they're amazing. And so I want to bring them on, just kind of discuss what their world is like, being on the opposite side of the world and playing this game.
They've been going to a lot of events lately, haven't they?
Yeah. They actually went to the, was it PAX Australia or something Australia.
Something like that. I've been seeing it all over Instagram.
Yeah, they were running the stuff for Final Fantasy 14 over there, kind of being host and everything. And so
That's awesome.
I want to talk to him about that too. So I would
I
recommend
love them.
you guys, if you, yeah, these guys
They
love them.
stayed in
then
my
maybe you'll love
house.
them. I remember that. They did not come and see me.
Yeah, they stayed in my apartment, and
Got green barbecue.
I'm sorry, Ethis Asher, Ethis.
Yeah.
He purchased me a toaster.
Oh,
I have a toaster now because of
it's the
Ethis.
Ethis toaster.
Yeah,
Did he just really want some toasted food?
yeah. He wanted to toast food, and he's like, "All right, you can keep it. Here's your toaster."
I can't take this on the airplane. Sorry.
So now I have a toaster because of him.
That's awesome.
Should have had him sign it, man.
Yeah, he should have. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming on again. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you next week, of course, because everybody will be here for next week. Be good, keep cool, be good to each other, keep cool, and, of course, stay frosty. Bye, guys. Bye!
Bye. Stay frosty. Bye.